One is a grown man with an encyclopedic knowledge of cinema. The other, a man-child raised by the more questionable corners of the internet. What happens when they each dive into something the other one loves? Find out on
The Man with No Brain.
That's Joe for you.
Ask Joe Buckley. You know, he's reliable, but also he's the most reliable and unreliable human being of all time.
He's reliably unreliable.
Yeah, and there are certain things you can always expect out of Joe. You can expect standard jokes, the same sort of filth. You can the shutdown behind the eyes when you start talking about his future and working for a living. You can always that will never change. But he's unreliable when it comes to planning, when it comes to checking messages, when it comes to his sleep schedule. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
You can never bet on Buck. Let's just put when it comes to that stuff. And I just realized it's only been, I guess it was about a year ago. Remember, he was working for the last time he did anything. He was employed
Oh my
that weekend
gosh.
for the fair. That was in July.
It has really been that long.
Been a year because it was July. It was
I
July.
So I've been off all this month. I go back to work in a week, and like I did not do not even half of what I had thought I would do. And it wasn't all like work at home. Some of it was just like go for walks, take care of yourself, don't eat a garbage can. And
I understand.
I did the exact opposite of all of that, and I'm sick of it. Like I'm disappointed in myself, and I think with good reason, because there are unrealistic expectations with me saying I'm going to go back and I'm going to edit all of the old video episodes of Malevolent Movies, and it's like, well, that's just straight up work. But take care of yourself. And I can't imagine this has been Joe's life since he was 14, 13 years of this.
He's set in his ways, and he's completely happy with the ways. And, on one hand, I was like, I wish I could be happy in my ways, because he's perfectly happy. He's content. He doesn't mind the world constantly changing and coming up with new things. And he's okay with being like, he's doing the exact same thing today that he did 1 year ago today, 2 years ago today, 3 years ago today.
We might learn today that he isn't 100% content with everything. Ryan, do you know what's going on today?
No, you said you're going to show us something. We're going to watch something and we're going to talk about it.
There's a video component, but that's not the whole thing. I guess I'll wait till Joe gets here. But Joe was challenged to speak some truths that he had never spoken before. And he had a difficult time, so I was smart enough to know that he'd probably be uncomfortable. So I tricked him by having him play characters first. Oh, here he is.
Okay.
Speaking of characters. Jojo.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Tyler.
There he is.
Look at him. That's his I'm acting voice.
No.
That is a completely different Joe than the one that was just on the phone.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
This
Joe,
is Joe. No, he's being recorded, and there's going to be an audience.
Well, what's wrong with that? Everybody acts differently.
Okay, Joe.
I get it.
Oh, what did you just crack open?
Monster Energy.
No, man, just drink some water first.
No. I need to get active.
Okay, fine, but drink the equal parts water to equal part Monster.
Okay, that's fine.
Please, your body needs some hydration.
We need to start mixing your drinks similar to what people mix to put in their lawnmowers and their snow blowers. It's like 1 part oil, 6 part whatever, gasoline.
Diesel, yeah.
That's what we need to do with your drink. So it's 1 part Monster, 2 part juice.
Yeah, I really don't drink too much Monster. I only crack them open whenever I need the energy.
Was it?
Cracking case of need of energy.
Yeah. It's like an emergency hatchet in like a building, just in case you have to hatchet down a door.
Is it the regular green? Classic.
Oh yeah, yep, classic green.
That's right. I had one earlier today. Yeah. So. I do occasionally drink them on the weekends.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
Joe, What
Yes.
episode number is it?
It is
So hold on.
okay.
What episode number is it? And what are we talking about today?
Okay, this is episode number 46, and this is the dating profile episode. Ooh.
I'm surprised you got that.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
That makes a little more sense because over the last 24 hours, we've been treated, the Malevolent Movies crew has been treated to small snippets and clips of Joe Buckley dating profile character thing. So
Yeah.
I wasn't
yeah.
sure if that was just you guys goofing around having a good time or if it was indeed part of something, but so that makes sense.
No, I'm looking for some action.
No, whenever Joe's around and on camera, it's always work. It's never fun.
yeah, there's no pleasure in being in the presence of Joe Buckley.
Mm-hmm. I know. Yeah, I know how to act. I hold up the skull and I say like, Shakespeare.
So this is multifaceted, and not all of it Joe fully understands or knows.
Okay.
But we were trying to come up with, because as everybody has witnessed, I think it's 8 episodes have just dropped. You're getting a huge dump of entertainment. And this was one, I think Zach came up with this idea. I think it was Zach. And I loved it. So I'm like, oh, okay, let's do some character stuff and whatever. But then I'm like, you know what? This is a great opportunity for Joe to really speak a truth, because every now and again he'll drop a nugget about how he does want a partner. He does not want to be, I don't like to say alone because you have your family, but like, you'd like to grow with somebody else. And I knew it was going to be like pulling teeth to get Joe to sit down and talk about how he actually feels. So I said, hey, come on over. Nick's coming over. This was technically, all this video was shot before.
Yeah, on steak night.
Before steak night.
Yeah.
And,
okay.
And so they did some characters and stuff like that. And then at the end, it was supposed to be real Joe. And oh my God, was it difficult. But Joe said some real things. But before we get to the videos, I'm gonna take the reins today, because this isn't just about a dating profile video. This is about relationships. And what does romance mean to both Joe and Ryan? And so I'm gonna ask some 2-part questions. One is for both people, and then there's gonna be a Ryan follow-up. So my first question to both of you, let's have Ryan answer first, is
Sure.
What would be an ideal date for you? It's not necessarily about catering to your partner, but for you, what would be a great date, Ryan?
Are we talking a first date, or this is like a date night and you've been in a relationship for 100 years?
Well, you see, I think that there's only one answer for Joe. So if you want to give 2, then I would love to hear.
I mean, I'll do the first date. The date night, that whole concept to me is still kind of
getting laid, eating nachos.
Yeah. Some Plex and butt sex.
I like the fact that it rhymed. I'm jealous that you said it before me. I guess so. First date kind of thing. I'm trying to think back to traditional first. I've never, to be honest, in most of my life, I haven't had traditional first dates. A lot of my relationships were started, I knew the person through work or a project or something. And so we already had been hanging around each other forever before, so I don't recall a lot of first dates, but I would say it would probably be a situation of, depending on where I live, I would like to see some live theater. Or not a concert and not necessarily a movie, maybe dinner and a comedy show or a live
some sort
event.
Of live performance.
Yeah, something that's fun that you don't do all the time.
Yeah.
I guess I mean very traditional kind of thing, but I do want to be in a situation where I can talk, where I can have conversation. So dinner type of thing, or if it's a first date, we're very casual. It's like, hey, you go for coffee. Very basic kind of standard, just getting to know you kind of stuff. I don't really have any sort of. So for me, that would be the best. For me, it would be a situation where I can talk, and have a conversation and get to know you, and try to figure out if this is something I want to do or not. You know what I mean?
Perfect.
See if there's any red flags for both of us. I may raise red flags. God knows. God knows.
Joe, what about you? What would your ideal first date be?
I think I'd like to talk during the date, so I think she'd enjoy going to a 6-hour Magic the Gathering pre-release. That sounds like fun.
See, now, just assume we're going to get jokes the whole way through.
We're going to get bits. So I'm going to try my best to be honest, because We're not going to get 100% honesty. See, with Joe Buckley, there may be honesty in there, but you have to work
Sure,
for it.
sure.
You have to take what he says and you have to sift through it. Like you're a veterinarian and you found some strange animal shit. You got to figure out the berries inside to figure out what animal left it.
Mhm.
That's basically you're a veterinarian digging through shit to try
Well,
and
yeah.
decipher Joe Buckley's true feelings amongst the jokes and the bits.
It's like whenever you see like a piece of rope coming out of your cat's butt, you gotta pull and pull until you find the truth.
Piece of rope.
That's what happens whenever cats eat string and stuff. You
Well,
see it
happens
just
with my
dangling out
dog.
their ass. Yeah.
It's happened with my dog because she tears up her toys. She'll literally eat the threads out of them.
Yep.
And then she'll go take a shit and you'll see like it's
Yeah, you gotta pull on it like it's a lawnmower.
it looks like a shit necklace, coming out there.
Okay. So Ryan, the follow-up question to that is, what is one of your favorite dates that you've actually gone on?
Let me think. You know what? I got okay. Years and years and years ago. And it's a favorite because it involves a friend of mine who's no longer with us. So it's all part and parcel. So this girl, I had known her for a while. We kind of had a few friends, we had mutual friends and whatnot. And I finally asked her on a real date. And she's like, "Oh, absolutely. I've been waiting for you to ask me because, we've been flirting, whatever." So we went to Veruki's in Spring Valley. One of my favorite places to get chicken and Italian food. Awesome time. And then we were actually just going to go back to my house where I was living and watch Shaun of the Dead because I've been talking a lot about it. But before that, we stopped at Mr. Sean Walsh was having a party at his house, and then they had a pool, and we went there, and I think it was Sean's house, might have been somebody else's house, but there was a pool involved. But then Sean was there, and the whole his whole Egons was there, and my friend Andrew was there, and very inebriated. Everyone's very inebriated, but they were all so excited that I was bringing a girl there, and they all wanted to put in a good word for me, and it turned into this hilarious, like, I wouldn't call it a roast, but it was like this hilarious, especially my friend Andrew, who was very, very inebriated, where they were just extolling my virtues. And it was this fantastic, hilarious, like heartfelt, like I didn't intend for that to happen, but it really sold it, I guess. It really made me look good. Like I have all my goofy friends there, all happy to be like, "Oh, look at this." And then we went and watched Shaun of the Dead and we talked till like dawn. So that was probably one of the best first dates in my past.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Joe, you have any thoughts on that?
No. Yeah, no, that's definitely nice. Yeah.
Well, it'd be, it'd be like if it happened, now, and I brought you somewhere and Joe Buckley be there saying how good I am. And I mean, you know what I mean? I could see it happening, a similar thing happening in movies land,
Sure.
Yeah.
With Joe Buckley,
Ryan Matthew Ziegler, he sure has a lot of Blu-rays.
Yeah, see? And that's funny. And I would have liked that. That's fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so next question. Ryan, what are some virtues, or more broadly, what are some things about a romantic relationship that you really wanted before you started getting into them?
I wanted somebody to be a fan of the shit I make. And that's important to me. I want them to be somebody that sees me through the frustrations of the journey of creating something, whether it's a movie, whether it's a play, whether it's anything, radio. I want them to, I need like it's the idea of they like me, obviously, or hopefully at least they're in a relationship with me, but they're also, maybe they were at least respect what I make on a fan level. They don't have to necessarily be a fan of it if it's not their cup of tea, but they're there for it. You know what I mean? And they brag about it and they hold it up, and so that was something that I liked, the idea of having a person by your side that's also with you on the creative journey that you're with, and they see you come home and the frustrations, they see what other people don't see, but then they're also there for the glory, or if you will, or the opening night or the premiere or whatever it is. I like that. That was something at a young, that I always had, because I was always creating from a young age and do my first play at 9 and everything. So that's always been part of my life, is I've always been involved in some project of some sort where I'm putting myself out there. And I like the idea of having, somebody along for the ride, even if they're like, well, it's not my cup of tea, if they don't like horror or something, that's fine. But they're just there. They understand the creative process and they can be a fan of it. That's important to me.
All right. Joe,
Yes.
what is something that you would like to get out of a relationship, having not been in one?
Ass, gas, or grass.
Yeah. It would really just be good to like have somebody to talk to. Probably like reasonably smart at least. I don't want to be talking with a dummy.
Jesus.
Yeah,
A dummy.
adult.
I'm dumb now.
No. I got hit on my head. I accidentally hit my head on like on the stoop.
Hit
So
my
you
head on stoop.
Yeah.
You want to be able to have a connection, with that
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
On
A
a personal
genuine
level.
connection.
And that you can let out all the shit you feel you can't let out with others.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be able to let it out with them.
Oh, sure.
So
And are you talking about stuff that is too deep to even share with us? Or are you just talking you want somebody that you can like have conversations with about Magic the Gathering?
Just like about whatever, like maybe someone I could share my love of like art house film and wouldn't get like snickered at.
Get snickered
you could do
at.
that with me, Joe. But the thing is, you don't watch the things you talk about. I would absolutely love to talk about the weird shit I watch
Yeah.
with you, but you won't watch any of it. You download it, you have it in your fucking thing. And I'm not going to go down this rabbit hole, but I'm just saying you don't necessarily need a woman or a partner for that. You just have to watch the shit.
Oh,
and
okay. You
talk
believe
about
I should watch the film?
Yes. And
Oh,
form
okay.
your own opinion about it. I would love for you to form your own opinion about it. If you honestly think Kubrick made something that put you to fucking sleep, I want you to be able to say it. I wouldn't laugh at you for it.
Okay.
I'm not saying I want to
Oh,
be
he
your
finally
fucking-
got his mic set up,
Yeah.
so now we can hear him clearly.
I'm not
Oh,
saying
wait,
that
was
I'm
I
not-
bad before?
No,
You're
it's
fine, Joe. I'm just
Okay.
busting your balls.
Okay.
I'm not saying I want to date you, Joe, but I'm just saying that you do have that outlet too, especially with me, because I do want to talk about that kind of shit.
Yeah.
But you don't watch the shit. So you talk about I went to my art house. What do you don't watch any of it? You know what I mean?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
No, I try to watch some of it. Yeah.
Okay. So follow up to Ryan. What is something that you didn't know you needed out of a relationship that you learned after getting into them?
Oh man.
It wasn't even on your radar, but you learned something about yourself through a specific or through all relationships you've been in that is now essential, an essential need for you.
That's a tough one because I don't really.
I don't really reflect on myself.
I don't. Well, I don't. Looking inward is tough. I'm as bad as Joe when it comes to that shit. I just hide it better. Something I didn't know I want. Liking my where I'm from. I guess liking where I come from.
Is that like literal or metaphorical?
Yeah, literal, like the Illinois Valley. Like because
Gotcha.
appreciating where I come from and that I come from a weird place that's a little different than other people's places, and you don't have to, necessarily like it. You don't have to even understand it, but to understand me, you have to understand where the fuck I'm from. And then we're from a weird place.
We have pigs for dogs.
The Illinois Valley is a very specific thing. It's a very specific taste. It's a very specific, not just talking food, but just the vibe of people and just the thought process and the expectations of life. So it's just sort of appreciating where I'm from and appreciating the weird shit that I like about my home, like the weird festivals I always have to go back for that I will not miss for any reason. And for an outsider, I get it. It's dumb. And these kind of things happen everywhere, but I don't go to these things everywhere. Yes, there are festivals everywhere, but I don't care about those. I want to go to my hometown festival.
The Princeton Poop Fest.
Yes, and appreciate how important, if that was the thing, how important it is for me.
Oh,
I never thought that hold on a second, Joe.
Okay,
I never thought.
Yep.
I've been in situations where people just don't get it, and they don't, and I have to put my foot down. Like I'm still doing it. I'm going. That kind of thing. So it was never, and I guess that's the best I got for something like that. It's just appreciating that I existed before the relationship, and there are certain ways I am, and that will not change whether you think it's dumb or not. It's if I like going to this stupid little fair every year, I'm not missing the fair, even unless there's some major emergency. I'm not missing the fair for your mom's birthday party. I'm always going to do those certain things because they're very important to me. and part of my growing up. And there's only like 2 or 3 of them in a calendar year. So
Yeah.
I guess that's something that's always, has on occasion has popped up in my life as an issue where it's like they just don't get it. And but I understand that they don't get it. Because they did. Maybe it's a nostalgia thing, maybe it's a comfort thing, but there's certain little events that I will move heaven and earth not to miss. It's traditions. Traditions are very important to me. Personal traditions and family traditions.
Yeah.
Joe, what was the bit you wanted to squeak out?
Oh, Tyler mentioned the Princeton Poop Fest, and I have an unrelated poop festival story. I went to the Streeter Carnival a week ago or so.
What?
Yeah. Well,
with who?
Yeah. No, with nobody. I just went myself.
What the fuck?
Well, it wasn't like an all-day thing.
That was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I saw it on because there were some bands coming to town.
Joe, we could have mic'd you up again.
Oh well.
No, just for you, just you walking around.
So I'll get into it. Why I didn't stay very long. Basically, no, that wasn't an issue. They decided to hold most of the festival on grass, right? But it was raining the entire week that week. So by the time it was time for the carnival, like everything was just sopping wet. You were basically like trying to go through like a swamp. So they got like a bunch of hay from like a farmer. But I guess the hay was coated in manure as well. So everything just stunk like shit next to the food area, and my shoes soaked through with manure.
Well, Joe, you wear the same pair of shoes for like 3 years in a row, and like you're not cleaning them. You're not like doing anything for it. So like those you can get upset about the stinky manure on your shoes, but have you done anything about it?
I ordered new shoes online, yeah. Well, I tried cleaning the shoes, and they didn't really work all that well.
You know what? And this is man with no brain magic. I didn't step in shit, but yesterday I mowed the lawn with my normal shoes on, and because I wasn't thinking about it.
You got the green.
And I couldn't clean them, so I also bought new shoes online and rushed them. So they'll show up tomorrow.
We got to.
So Joe and I both found ourselves in dumb situations that ruined our shoes. That we had to order.
Yeah, no, it's awful.
Before I ask my next question, I just have to deviate because it's probably not a full episode. But Joe, I'm just shocked that like on your own volition, like did your parents like say, "Hey, we're going," and then you went later than them? How did you end up at the Streeter Festival?
Well, I wanted to check out the carnival. I wanted to see if it was worth riding stuff, and I decided not to. It was kind of a clusterfuck. The lines were big. Nobody was wiping down shit with COVID. But I wanted some carnival food as well, so I just went in there and grabbed myself a gator on a stick. It's not like a whole gator; it's gator chunks.
Oh, well, so was that Cajun restaurant there? What it was? The gator
Can I get gator chunk stick, please?
It might have been them. I forget. I'm not exactly sure who it was, but yeah, they had pieces of gator on like a stick.
Because the Streeter Fest, Sean and I had to do for the radio, for the morning show, we had to go there a couple of years in a row. And that was where we got to go on stage and introduce a couple of the country people, and we had a good time. But I know exactly where it was in the grass.
Okay.
And I'm just
but also
wandering around there by yourself is
this ride thing. Like Joe's done the Six Flags thing. Like I didn't know that like thrill rides were important to you.
Oh, no, I mean, I enjoy a nice ride, like a roller coaster or something. Yeah, that's fun.
Joe, you once got motion sick driving 55 miles an hour around a curvy road.
Well, I may have just been sick at that point. I don't know. Normally, I'm able to handle the roller coaster.
You can go upside down?
Yeah, I can go upside down fine.
I think we're seeing the reverberations, though, maybe of last summer when you were the carnival employee for that weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, you think I just, like a moth to a flame, I had to go back?
Are you feeling nostalgia for that? And that's maybe why you wanted to walk around the fair, the carnival?
No, not really. No.
No.
No, I don't want to be hot again and rain on. Yeah. I want to stand around while kids throw stuff at balloons.
How does that affect you?
No, that was what I did whenever I was a carnival employee.
Yeah, you stood around. So what's the concern?
Just having the stand.
Oh Lord, you couldn't. Have
you
a chair?
went there. You got your.
I had a chair. I had a chair at some point.
And that made you leave. That was basically that's the.
Yeah, essentially,
like Dookie here.
All the shit smell is right next to the food stand, so that was lovely as well.
But it did stop you from ordering that gator on a stick.
Yeah, well, I wanted some carnival food.
I mean,
No
You'll
offense,
sniff
Joe, but I
some
don't
shit
think.
if it means getting the food you want.
Yeah, gator on a stick doesn't remind me of like carnival food, like a corn dog.
I also got a big
funnel
pretzel
cake,
Did you get a
pretzels.
pretzel?
Yeah,
and a slice of pizza.
that's
Jesus
not,
Christ.
You
What
can't get a
else?
corn
Anything
dog
else?
next time.
I don't like corn dogs.
Fuck you. God
Yeah.
How do you
damn it.
not like corn dogs?
I just don't really like the mixture of the breading and the hot dog, because I only eat hot dogs with buns.
Wait, did you say you only eat hot dogs with
I
buns?
don't eat hot dogs with buns.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
So you only like the hot dog, you like the wiener by itself.
Yeah, just a plain weenie.
You are one of a kind, Joe.
I just let it slip down my throat. I don't like the bread to get in my way.
You like burgers with buns, though, right?
I do. Burgers are fine with buns.
I don't get it. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Back to the
yes,
romance.
I don't eat bratwurst with buns. I like bratwurst by itself.
See?
But I won't eat a hot dog by itself. Come on.
Okay. No. Yeah. Everybody's a little bit different. That's fine.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, Ryan,
Yeah.
you are on a first date, and your date asked you, what are some things that you are just, or a couple things, or even just one, that you are unwilling to compromise about?
My Blu-ray collection, physical media. I'm not getting rid of this shit, and I will always buy it.
And when you say it, like, are you kind of anticipating that the amount of space they take up could be a problem?
Yes. Because that's a very and not personally have I ran into that so much, but that is a common thing amongst collectors of Blu-rays, records, anything where you're collecting something of a physical nature, and it's a fun hobby that you want to continue and you've invested time and money in. It takes up space, and sometimes you hit a point where your partner, if you're living together or something, is like, okay, enough. Either for financial reasons, if your finances are combined, or for space reasons. And I'm telling you, I know. This physical media, I will receive one probably a week until the shit ends, and I will not sell any of it. And I will not, and yes, I will double dip. Yes, I might have already had.
Okay.
But if there's a better version, okay, I'll probably get it.
Yeah. Do you
and a lot of collectors online talk about how that's is an issue sometimes in their life. So that's one of my things, that this hobby of mine of collecting is very important to me, and it's something I've been doing literally for 25 years, starting with DVD, and it's not stopping. The only time it'll stop is if it's no longer created. The physical media completely finally shits the bed and like, we're done. I'm done. No, that'll be the only way. Well, even then I won't stop because there's eBay.
Yeah,
It already exists that out of print that I need. So that's one thing. I'm like, look, I'm gonna I need a room. I need a space for my collection, and it's got to be climate controlled, and I have to be able to black out the windows because I don't want the spines.
No.
Get the sun on them. I mean, I've invested too much in these.
Yeah.
Thousands, literally tens of thousands of dollars into this shit.
I hate whenever you like go into like a store, like a pawn shop or something, and then you just see like all the spines are sun faded. It's like, all this is worthless now. Might as well throw it in the dumpster.
Yeah. So that's a big one. You may think it's a waste of money, throwing money away, but it's I will never stop doing this. This is it's a relaxing thing for me. It's an exciting thing for me. And I'm not going to go into a lot of it because for time, but it's also a psychological comfort for me to be surrounded physically by this imagery.
I was going to ask, do you sell your doubles if all the special features got ported over from the old release? No? Okay.
I don't. I've done that in the past with DVDs. When I had an eBay, I was a big eBayer for a while, selling a lot. And I was doing that maybe 10 years ago. I would sell, but then I realized time would pass. I wished I still had them.
Oh, okay.
Either because gifts. I realized that they were a gift and I kind of and that person maybe passed away. And I was like, man, I wish I wouldn't have sold that set because they gave it to me. You know what I mean? So now where I don't sell any of the things. So I do have, like, for instance, Fright Night. We all know my favorite movie.
Yeah.
Fright Night. I've got the 2 out of print Twilight Time Blu-rays that came out.
Okay,
and now the new 4K Steelbook is going to be coming out.
I hear about that.
I'm getting that too, and I will have 4 copies of fucking Fright Night on the shelf. I'll never watch the other 2, the Twilight Time 2, but I'm not going to get rid of them. That's part of the collecting. Yeah, it's part of the collection. So
okay.
Well, Joe, what about you? If you were on a first date and your date asked you what is something you are unwilling to compromise about, what would you say?
I'd say in general I'm a very obstinate person. So I'd really like to just kind of keep my life kind of the way it is at the moment. You know, I'd still like to play Magic the Gathering. I'd still like to live in the basement. So if that's like
Okay.
if that's a big turn off, I wouldn't really be able to.
Is that a bit?
But
I know you like the lifestyle you're leading, but as far as never moving out,
No. I just mean in terms of like the next year or whatever. I don't really want.
no. I'm talking about something that would be perpetual, forever. At least as far as you're aware in that moment. So for you, I can understand if you said, I'm just never gonna want to like go to a different kind of restaurant to try food. I'm just never gonna.
Oh,
want
okay,
to
like a
wanna,
sushi place, yeah.
Yeah, well, just anywhere. I would just want to go places that I know that I'll like the food.
Okay,
Like that, I would get. So like.
yeah.
The other thing is, like, I do think you want to move out and change some things over time, but I understand you don't want to do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
But like, well, so I handed you the food one, but can you give us one?
I'm trying to think. Oh, I was gonna say like I wouldn't like to be dragged to like bad movies, but I might be able to handle that.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you're saying that like if you were going to see a movie on a date, you would have to mutually agree to the film.
Yeah. Although I could maybe go see 50 Shades Part 5. I don't know.
Okay.
well, what if the
Yeah.
girl you're dating that you love really is excited about the new Adam Sandler?
No, that's
movie?
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I
Not
can maybe
not every
do it, yeah.
girl drags you to erotic mainstream thrillers. Some of them just want to see goofy or like my thing, cartoons. But
Okay.
I went on a date to Shrek 2. I remember.
Yeah. Romantic.
And
yeah.
it pained me to sit there.
Yeah.
But I did it, and I didn't say a word.
Yeah,
'cause that was
yeah.
what she wanted to do, and it was with her sister, and it was a family thing. I was like, yeah, I'll go see.
And
But
you
don't
were
think
able
for a second I wasn't sitting there thinking, fuck.
Yeah. You
I
could
can't stand
think
this.
though, like I guess there's an ogre inside all of us that wants to come out.
It just didn't. I was just, it was,
Yeah.
But I
Oh.
did it, you know.
Oh sure. Yeah.
So for Ryan, the follow-up question, is there anything that you thought you wouldn't be able to compromise on, but over time, whether it was in a specific relationship or over time you've learned for all of your relationships, you were able to maybe change your perspective on something?
Something that I initially thought I couldn't be cool with, but then
Yeah.
learned that I can be cool with it for the right circumstances. I don't really know. Yeah, that's that. Without sitting and thinking for a while, nothing's coming to mind. Like, because
Well, we
I
can
don't
come
have.
back to it.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of hard. I mean, other people probably disagree, but I don't feel like I've got a lot of hard rules about a lot of shit. I like people to have the freedom and be who they want to be, within the bounds of not being a monster. And politically, they need to be similar to me. But yeah, right. I can't really think of anything that I was.
So you think you could be open-minded if somebody maybe had some different beliefs, as long as they didn't interfere with your ability to lead your own life. You'd be open-minded to
because
stuff like that.
I'm not a religious person, but I don't have a lot of issues with religion until the religious beliefs start creeping into moral things that I'm a part of. So if the standard thing, if your religion believes that it should infringe on people and hurt people and that are different, I'm not into that. But if you just want to go to church, that's cool. As long as you don't come home from church and then be like, consider I'm a fucking demon because I'm my very liberal views, that kind of thing.
Sure.
Or because I like horror films, which is the whole reason I'm not
Yeah.
religious. Because as a kid, I was kicked
yeah.
out of Sunday school for talking about Freddy to a friend of mine. And I was like, what the fuck? I remember thinking to myself, what the fuck does church and a horror movie? There's no correlation. Why can't you like both?
Well, it's sinful. Yeah, just
You
think
know what
it's
I mean?
sinful whenever you
And
see blood on screen or like see a boob.
it was a combination of that. And then my Sunday school teacher saying my dog isn't going to be in heaven. And I remember thinking and I said back to her, I was like, well, then I don't need to be there either, man.
Yeah,
That's important. What's the fuck, and it was those combination of things that kind of led me to being the pretty non-religious dude. Having said that, I don't care if someone else is religious. That's fine. I'm not so hardcore that I'm like, ew, I would never date a religious person. I'm not saying that at all. I would, and I have. I just hope that they're not religious to the extent of they're a bigot. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Type of thing.
Okay.
That obviously is not something I'm going to hang with.
We're going to move into a lightning round of questions. I'm going to ask you guys both the same thing. So we'll keep Ryan first, Joe second. But these are questions I'm pulling from magazines like Men's. Well, I don't know if you call them that, like, but
Men's Health magazine.
lifestyle sites like
Scary
Men's
Monsters
Health,
magazine.
Cosmopolitan.
Fangoria.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. Joe.
Okay.
These are questions specifically to ask on a first date. So we just need the answer. We don't need the context. Okay. Ryan, what types of things do you find funny?
And you said this involves first date?
Yep, these are labeled first date questions.
Okay, so if I'm on a date and she asks, what kind of things do you think funny? I like absurdity. I like shit that is funny, but you don't know why it's funny. I like satire. I like smart comedy. I like comedy that involves human beings and stuff that we all can relate to. But like I said, at the same time, I love absurdity. Like, I can't tell you why I think Freddie Got Fingered is funny, but I think it's funny too. So I can hang with 40-Year-Old Virgin, which is full of jokes about real life human things, but also I'll laugh at, Daddy, would you like some sausage? So
yeah.
But that's the kind of stuff I think is funny.
I'm a farmer now, Daddy. I'm a farmer now.
Joe, what types of things do you find funny?
Yeah, I really enjoy whenever people get mocked. Whenever people
First
accidentally
date red
shit and they
flags.
don't mean it. Why? What's wrong with that?
I'm just saying.
Okay.
What do you like? What do you think's funny, Joe? Oh, the degradation of human beings.
Okay, yeah. Whenever they bring like a real piece of shit alcoholic on and just roast them, that's funny.
Do you see how that would be difficult? How that would ruin the vibe of a first date? Chances are, though.
Okay, Joe, how about this?
Okay.
You get to answer 2 times, but again, keep it lightning round.
Okay.
That was your joke answer. Now give us the answer you would say if you were in front of somebody you legitimately wanted to have an interest in you.
Okay. No, I'm a big fan of satire. I like it. I like just kind of like a weird like satire humor. I like different like radio stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Ryan, if someone were to play you in a movie, who would you cast as yourself?
Young James Spader. If I have no control over, if I can control time and space, 1986 James Spader.
Awesome.
Because he looks like me a little bit in that era, and I think I'm a huge Spader fan in general, but I think that 80s James Spader is awesome.
Joe, your joke answer, please.
Well, no, it would have been Philip Seymour Hoffman. He would have been fantastic, but he's dead now.
No, you could still pick him.
Oh yeah, I'll take Hoffman. Hell yeah.
Okay, without even the joke. Awesome.
No.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
Okay,
Thank you.
Ryan, what is the most interesting fact you know?
Oh Jesus, it's interesting. Is the poisonous word there? I can without a lot of effort, I can tell you all the differences of all the different versions of A Christmas Carol that have ever been filmed.
Ooh.
I can tell you the differences between the film and the book, and then I can tell you the versions where they're doing something that was actually previously in one of the movies and not part of the book. There are certain things in the Christmas Carol movie versions that are in all the movie versions or a lot of the movie versions that were, I don't know if the screenwriters didn't actually read Charles Dickens' book, but they just thought that was always, it's been in so many of the movies that that's part of it, but it's actually not. I mean, if I needed to, I could break down, the 1938 version, the 1951, 1984, 1970 Scrooge musical, the Patrick Stewart one. I mean, I don't know if it's interesting, but it's something that a lot of people probably don't think about, but yeah, because I'm a big Christmas Carol nerd. It's my favorite story of all time. So
awesome. Joe?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, did you know that there's not a single human being on this planet who doesn't have microplastic in their blood now? That's true.
I read the same thing on Reddit as well, Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's like little bits of plastic in our blood now. It's everywhere.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
Yeah.
Okay, Ryan, what's something on your bucket list?
I'd like to go to London.
Oh, wow.
I'd like to go, and not just London, England, all around. I would really like to just go and experience, that, and just go around and have eat restaurants and see shows and just spend some time in both London, but then outer England, because I've grown up, watching so many Hammer movies and all the British stuff, and I I know it's a simple thing, but it's yeah, I've always wanted to go and spend a large, nice amount of time in London and just England in general, the UK.
Joe, what's on your bucket list?
I'd like to buy a bucket.
All right.
And your real answer.
No, I think it would be fun to go to the UK. I think that would be cool.
Just took Ryan's thing.
No.
Yeah, you except you expanded on it, but to more territory. Is that legitimately your answer?
No.
God damn it! Just give us a real answer.
I'm sorry. Trying to think something to do before I die.
Well, you like thrill rides. Would you like to go to Disney World or
No,
Universal?
Disney World sucks. Maybe
Disney
Universal
World does not suck. I was there, and it was great.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would love to go back to Disney
And
World.
I hate vacations.
Little
I had a great
kids,
time.
I'd love to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't really like the whole mouse. I'd like
Separate the theme park from the fucking copyright issues. My God.
Your date left, Joe.
No. She's still
Your
here.
date excused herself in the bathroom. Like a Simpsons episode, you heard footsteps, and peeled out. And you're still sitting there, nursing your Shirley Temple.
Well, you know what? In that case, I'm eating her chicken fingers then. Those are mine now.
She ran the fuck out of that Culver's real fast.
Yeah.
Joe wants to ride the biggest roller coaster in the UK. That's his bucket list item. God damn you. Okay. Ryan, what is your favorite website?
Blu-ray.com.
I figured.
Because I categorize my Blu-rays there. I like to read the reviews of upcoming Blu-rays. I like to go on the forums and watch arguments amongst other nerds. Just it's that world that I live in that it's very specific, but that's as far as websites. I don't go to a lot of websites, but yeah, I'd say I visit Blu-ray.com multiple times a week.
Okay. Joe, what is your favorite website?
I'd have to say YouTube. There's like a lot of, YouTube itself, the website. It's not like it's fucking up a lot of stuff. I don't like the management at YouTube.
Joe, this is lightning round.
Okay, there's like a lot of good like information on YouTube. There's a lot of funny stuff on YouTube.
Okay, what about a website where you have to read things?
I was gonna say I would have to say YouTube too. I don't think YouTube is a website anymore because I watch it on my TV.
Okay.
Yeah, some may say it's an application at this point, but I can understand both answers. I think they're valid. Yes. But Joe, what's something that like a site you'd have to read on?
Reddit then. Yeah, that's got a lot of information. I like browsing True Film. I like browsing like piracy. Like piracy is like a bastion of information. A lot of information subreddits I go to. And it just saves me like a lot of time researching, and I can get the answers right away.
Okay. Ryan, what are you most looking forward to next week?
Does that include, because this is Sunday, so getting out of work at noon on Friday. I get a half day Friday.
There might be other
answer. Stuff. But yeah, as far as right now, as far as the week concerned, there's nothing specific happening, but I get out at noon on Friday, and that's good. That's
awesome.
Fun.
Joe?
I actually have some family coming over to visit next week, so I guess I'll be like seeing them, hanging out with them.
Okay. Do you know what family plans are?
We're probably gonna get like a big tenderloin and eat it. We normally do that. A couple big tenderloins.
This is a huge fucking tenderloin that covers like an entire table, and the Buckleys just put chairs all around it, and they just start eating at it until they get to the middle and it's gone. And then they have to arm wrestle for who gets that last middle piece.
Yeah. Oh, and let me tell you, I almost win every time. It was just like the Buckley Olympics.
The Buckley Olympics.
The Joe Olympics. Yeah, Buckley Olympics makes no sense.
Okay. I was just improving.
Joe Olympics sounds like Olympics.
Oh, yeah, it does. That's why it works so well.
It was your own event, and you don't remember the name.
No, I was just improving
date
a little.
Over. That's date is also. You also ruined this date. Fourth date you ruined.
Okay, she went outside. I paid her another $25. She went back in.
Okay, can you just? Yeah. I was gonna say, can you pay her like another $75 and we just have sex in the rest?
No,
Okay.
I'm not doing that.
Okay.
Because it's not about like I have an aversion to paying women or sex work in general.
Yeah, no, I don't.
I want you to have a conversation with someone first.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ryan, question for you. What is a smell you like that people wouldn't normally think about as being a smell someone would like?
Anything you can just huff.
Smoke bombs.
Oh,
You know the
interesting.
cheap smoke bombs you get at 4th of July, like a Walmart. They're the colored smoke comes out of them, blue and red and whatnot. I love that smell. It's a nostalgia thing again. It's the smell of 4th of July and summertime, but I love that smell. Like I will walk when my nephew and niece are lighting those off. I will run through the smoke with them. They like running through the smoke because it's fun. I like running through the smoke because I like the smell, and I will do that. I legit like that smell.
Awesome. Joe?
I like a pool smell, like a nice chlorine.
Are you fucking with me right now?
No,
I can see that.
that's not bad. Yeah.
Mr. I don't like water?
Well, I don't like to be. I like to get wet on my own terms.
Jesus.
Wet on my
That
own
sounds like
turds.
That sounds like a 1972 porno.
Yeah,
On my own terms.
Yeah.
Starring Busty Buckley.
Oh, it's a sequel to Debbie Does Dallas.
Steve Buckley.
It's a sequel to Joey Does Tenderloin.
That's not a porno. That would be like a food review. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Ryan, what is something that when you go out in public, it drives you nuts?
There's so many. When people know that you are behind them and they are walking deliberately slow, like when it's kind of a crowded situation and you can't necessarily pass them, they're just taking their sweet fucking time, and they just you're stuck behind them and you can't do anything about it.
Mhm.
That kind of thing, like on a sidewalk, that kind of drives me crazy. Also, in a similar vein, when you're on the sidewalk and somebody's riding a bicycle on the sidewalk, which you're not technically supposed to do, they're the ones who're supposed to go in the fucking grass. And if they don't go in the grass, I'm very upset by it. You know what I
Okay.
mean? But there's a million. I could sit here and tell you a million pet peeves that are out in public. Jesus. It'll be,
Well, we should
I'm
do
like
a whole
Michael Douglas, I'm
episode.
falling down,
We should do a whole episode about like what you guys hate about when you're out there in the world.
Yeah, society.
Yeah, because we did that pet peeves thing, but we should do one that specifically, because there's a lot has happened since that episode
Yeah.
in the world. So there's new ones. There's new ones, man.
Joe, what about you?
But yeah, I guess the people in your way. It's just this. I guess the sort of people not realizing, in a larger sense, people not realizing that there's other people in the world, and everyone's you should be conscientious of everybody else and kind of get out of people's way. Don't leave the fucking shopping cart in the middle of the aisle and talking to your buddy that you saw when other people are trying to get through. It's that non-conscious, being selfish and thinking you're the only person that exists in the world.
Sure.
I guess is a bigger way of saying that.
Joe,
It's
what
not
about
just
you?
like people walking slow, I guess.
Oh yeah. No, I really hate people with like a screaming like infant or baby or something, and they just like stay there and don't do anything and just let the toddlers scream for 10 to 15 minutes in the mall, or not the mall, the store or whatever.
Joe, I gotta ask, just because I know I shouldn't poke the bear. I'm supposed to moderate this fucking shit show. But how often are you in that scenario?
Yeah.
How
That just
often?
happened maybe a week and a half ago. There was an infant just screaming its head off in like the store.
In what store?
Kroger's.
But Joe, this is where the difference between you and I lie. Is like I also find that annoying auditory. Nobody likes that sound.
It's a sensory thing. It's overwhelming.
But there's also the idea of like, look, it's empathy and knowing that there was a time, Joe, where you were probably that infant. And
absolutely.
Everybody with a kid is in that situation at one point or another. If we had Sean on this episode, I bet he could tell you all kinds of scenarios. Sometimes that's just not controllable. People say, well, just take the kid out. This may be your only time to get those goddamn groceries, and you need to get them because you're working. And so, if that kid decides it's going to throw a fit, there's sometimes no stopping it. So I do have empathy for that situation. And you know what I mean? And while I don't like the sound, I'm also not like angry about it.
Oh, okay.
Because I get that, that shit just happens. It's not, kids are kids. And
yeah, but it's mostly about not making any sort of effort to control it.
Well, you might not be able to.
That kid could have been screaming for the last 2 hours. And so the parent has lost all energy to even try.
Yeah.
And they still have to get their shit. So they're like, you know what? I don't like it either, but I'm not leaving the store because of this. I need my groceries.
Yeah, so
this
fuck
is my
50
only
other
night
people.
this is my only night to do it.
So Joe, you
think
think because someone like you might happen to be in that store,
inconvenience.
that single mother of 3 kids has to leave the store without the food she needs to feed her family because you might be bothered by it.
Yeah.
No, be honest.
Huh?
Are you really that incapable of empathy?
No. Well, I thought like a lot of like the food like stores like have like a free delivery system now, like Walmart and Kroger's.
Okay, so like,
Yeah.
but then why don't you use it?
Uh, well, I like to browse things.
Oh, okay. So what if this person likes to browse things?
Well, they have 3 toddlers who are screaming.
Joe, come on, man.
Yeah.
You gotta. This is okay. Goose fraba. This is why you need to be in a relationship with somebody else, is because they will help you learn this stuff.
Oh.
Nobody's
Okay.
saying you have to like that the kid is screaming. The sound of a child screaming can be one of the worst things to you ever. But the way it's coming out of you is like, fuck that person, that lazy piece of shit, not even trying. God forbid you had to watch a kid that was doing the same thing, Joe. I've watched how you treated a couch that wasn't going the way you wanted it to.
Yeah. Well, but I'm not having kids though.
But I'm saying you might help your sister if she has some kids, or your brother.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe, but I don't like kids.
We
I don't want
know.
to watch them.
God.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is Joe's day. See, that's the problem. If these are honestly the way you're answering questions
Well,
on a
no,
date,
but that's very
you
good to
got
get out
be
there. Like,
sitting
I don't want
across
kids.
from a real messed up piece of work
Yeah.
to be like, yeah, this is the guy I want. Because these are some terrible, like, and you're maybe doing a bit. That's fine. But I mean, honestly,
Yeah, no, lots of people are child free now. A lot of women
that
go
are on
child
date with
free.
you are really not going to like these answers.
People are child free because they can't afford it. Okay.
Well, they also just don't want kids. Yeah, no money, don't want kids.
Well, that's two different things. If somebody, I don't think I want to have children.
Yeah, no,
But that's a choice on my part.
Yeah.
I could maybe afford it, but I don't think I want to. But that's just because I'm terrified of raising a child who has the same issues I have, because I just don't know how.
Yeah.
I can't take care of myself sometimes. God forbid I take care of another human being. But then there's people who can't afford it because life is expensive and they're trying to learn how to even save up for retirement. Most people between like 40 and like 18 haven't even begun to save for their retirement. I can't remember what the number is. It's probably like closer to like 40.
Oh, yeah.
I've got little to nothing in mind because most of the jobs I've had in my life don't offer a 401k situation. Radio wasn't giving you 401ks. They're like, or it was a situation where I couldn't afford to put anything in a 401k, even like 2%. I was getting paid not enough I needed that extra 2%. You know what I mean? The college I worked at, that was a different scenario. That money was being, it was for the state. So you weren't paying into Social Security while you worked there, but you didn't really have a choice. Your money was being essentially what was going to be Social Security was being put in a fund that you did get to keep. But as far as like 401k, I've never been previously in a situation where I could even really afford putting in 2%, even if they matched it. It was just not in the cards for me monetarily. Yeah. So
well,
I'm absolutely.
That's how it is for most people. Yeah.
Joe, you have no idea what Ryan's saying.
I'll be working till I'm dead.
No, the 401k, yeah.
What is the 401k, Joe?
It's
damn it.
It is a fund that you can put into. Sometimes the employer matches whatever you put in. So if you put in, like, say, 4% of your paycheck, if you're in a decent business, sometimes they will put in 4%.
Okay, I'm shocked.
I know what that is.
But then they play with it, and it goes up and down, and I'm not a big fan of that.
Oh yeah. Well, but depend on the stock market, right? Yeah.
I hear a lot of positives, but I hear a lot of people that are like, find another option, find another savings option, because they lost like $8,000 in a blink of an eye.
Oh yeah. Every time the stock market, like, basically
the stock market.
No.
So once Tony Stark died, everyone's 401k went to zero.
Yeah.
Fucking Stark market.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, last lightning round question.
Oh, okay.
If you could trade lives with anyone else, living or dead, Ryan, who would you trade with?
Quentin Tarantino.
I'm assuming starting at the video store, or starting after like Pulp Fiction.
Just everything. Like his whole life has been like, I have such a kinship with Tarantino. Like,
so you'd want to live his life, as it were.
Yeah, I mean, because I mean, it's been such a. I feel that his life has been such a film nerd Cinderella story. Like he went from being a guy who loved all these films and loved talking about them, and to making the films that he wants to make 100%, and then also making he wins Oscars for making exactly what he wants to make. He doesn't make Oscar bait. he gets Oscars for making his spaghetti Western and his movies. And then on top of that, then he takes his money and he buys every video he owns. He bought all the tapes from the old video store he worked at because it meant so much to him. So he owns all those. He's got his video store basically. And then on top of that, then he buys a movie theater so he can make sure that it's always projecting movies on 35 millimeter and being able to host festivals. I mean, as a film nerd, he is absolutely living. And then now he's his beautiful wife and he's got a kid, and now he's writing books on film criticism. And he's doing everything he's ever wanted to do 100% the way he wants to do it. And if I could live that life, for me, his life, as far as any celebrity out there, mirrors the most, if I could pick and choose, the most of any celebrity out there. A second, although I would rather be acting than making films. I'd like to be, so it would be the similar situation, but I'm acting because I get more enjoy. That's what I like most as opposed to writing and directing. But
Gotcha.
It would be that kind of lifestyle. Just getting to make, he's 100% getting to do creatively everything he's ever wanted to do. And it's always successful. And, and on top of that, he's got nothing, he's incredibly well respected for his knowledge. And yeah, as far as anybody out there celebrity wise that I would love to mirror their kind of life, it would be, for me, that would be it. His whole life is in cinema and the shit he wants to make, his entire existence. Now he's on podcasts all the time, just talking about movies. Like every minute he's doing exactly what he's always wanted to do his whole life. And it's just, not a lot of people get to do that.
Joe?
I'd say David Lynch. Yeah, I would be doing weird paintings with like stuff stuck to them. I'd be doing the weather reports for people and they'd love it. And yeah, it would be really good to be David Lynch.
I'd be doing the paintings and they'd love it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's bullshit.
No. Yeah, and you get to just like critique people anytime you want. It's fantastic.
Okay, we are going to move on to the next section. This is to help aid Joe a little bit.
Yeah. I'm putting my best foot forward out there.
Ryan is going to do a little bit of improv here.
Oh,
okay, but it's basically to a wall. Okay, so you are Joe, and I am your date, and I'm going to ask you one question, and you have to find a way to answer it truthfully.
Oh.
But in a way that you think won't just end the date right then and there, okay?
Yeah, it doesn't make me look bad.
Okay, you ready, Ryan?
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough, Ryan.
Date?
No, you are Joe.
I'm Joe.
You are Joe.
So
I'm your date. I'm going to ask you one question, and you have to try without hesitation to answer the question truthfully as you can, but make the information come out in a way that wouldn't make them want to run for their lives.
Yeah, you have to make
I'm Joe, but I'm Joe though.
Yes,
you're saying.
You are Joe.
Okay,
yeah.
So I have to answer it the way I think Joe should answer it.
Yes, exactly.
You have to somehow make sucking grease out of a skillet.
If I'm taking Joe's body over, basically.
Yeah.
But I know I can't be me because that's once I'm out of Joe's body, Joe's going to be stuck with him. So I have to still be Joe, but try and be the best Joe possible so he can continue a date.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Here's the first question. Your date just asked you, are you currently employed?
No. Honestly, I have a lot of issues with the way that Americans are treated in the workplace, and I've been having a hard time rectifying my own convictions with knowing that yes, I have to enter the workforce and deal with this sort of thing. I would love to find a way where I could find an employment that fulfills me, but where I also don't feel like I'm being abused, and I don't know what that is, and I'm always on the search for it. I do want to better myself, but honestly, my current life situation has afforded me to be able to not be employed. But I would, honestly, in my dream would be to be a podcaster, but I understand how that's difficult. It's difficult to be a professional podcaster. I'm going to continue to work at that. But yeah, I have a real issue with the way Americans are treated, and I wish we could do something about that. So I'm also incredibly lazy. No, I'm just kidding, but kind of.
No.
That was
Hey,
impressive,
you gotta be
Ryan.
self-deprecating. You got to be self-deprecating a little bit,
okay,
Joe.
that's fine.
That was really impressive. I'm
I'm trying to take Joe's bullshit and make it sound good.
No, you did
okay.
great.
Because we all know that there was slave wages.
Yeah, I'm part of the anti-work movement.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good on a date.
Okay.
So
The
I
anti-work
hope you
movement.
listen back to this episode, Joe, and really let that sink in, because if you are unemployed on a first date, they're probably going to want to know that information, especially at your age. Because
Okay.
once you're over like 24, 25, like that's just an average question for adults.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just because it's a very common. Everyone has to work somewhere, so it's a very easy thing to answer. Oh,
Yeah.
what do you do? You know, a
Okay.
lot of people hate answering that question because they're not excited to talk about what they do. They're like,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
I just do this job. You know,
Yeah. I mop
I
the
kind of
floor.
hate the job. You know,
Joe, do you think Ryan did a good job of answering
No, I
that
think
question?
so. Yeah.
Is that how you would
All
answer it?
I would hopefully try to answer it like that. Yeah.
Okay. Ryan, I am your date. You are Joe.
Okay.
Where are you currently living?
Oh, I currently live with my parents, my family. We're very close. You know, it is convenient for me, but I like being near my family as they get older, and I relate to them better now that I'm older, and it's like a nice friendship. And but I am close with my parents. Honestly, though, I live with them more because of convenience and kind of with the unemployment thing. But regardless of when I move out, I'm still gonna have a relationship with my parents. They're great people, and I'm very close with them. I like to help out.
I like to help
I
out.
I jerk
Yeah,
off.
I just like
jerk
helping.
off into their sink.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. I make squishies.
Howdy do, Joe. Howdy do.
Yeah, no, I think good. Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's a tougher one to answer in that situation. Because if you couple it with the unemployment. Now, if you're
Yeah,
employed and you're
that's-
living there, that's different. Then it's kind of be like, hey, to be honest with you, I'm trying to save up money because I like to buy a house. Instead
Yeah,
of
a
rent.
lot of people, between like 25
That's
and
fine.
35 are with their folks, and so
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you couple it with the unemployment and the hating the workforce, it starts to paint a picture that's like,
Yeah.
for a date.
Why
anyway.
you think that's a red flag?
On a date, depending, yeah, it could very well be. Especially
Okay.
with you have to understand that with where they're coming from, their previous romantic relationships and what they known in the past. They may have been dating a doctor or a
Yeah.
lawyer.
So they're sick and tired of this highfalutin lifestyle.
And they
The hustle and bustle.
They may like the idea that they're not going to have to compete with somebody for their career. Because there's that workaholics and that kind of thing, and that can become an issue. So they may like that because depending on where they come from. But if they previously dated, some guy who was just high all the fucking time and wouldn't work, they're going to be like, ooh, I'm not even going to try this because
It brings back such good memories.
well, so you never know where they're coming from.
No,
too.
I get you.
Okay, Ryan, I am your date. You are Joe. How do you tend to act when you are around your social circle?
Oh, I'm the life of the party. Like I work really hard to make them laugh. Nothing makes me feel better than when I make them laugh. Like they are my audience, and they and sometimes even to the point where they're annoyed with me because they're asking me personal questions that I don't want to answer. I want to make them laugh. Nothing makes me happier than the sound of their laughter. So sometimes I go a little above and beyond, and I go a little hard on it. But it's a small price to pay to make my friends laugh.
All right, Joe, how do you do?
No, good, yeah.
Good.
Uh-huh.
That's it? That's all you have to say?
Well, no, yeah. I mean, I'd say that's accurate, yeah.
Okay. Ryan, I am your date. You are Joe. What are some ways in which you've grown over the last 3 years?
Oh, my penis. I started out at average. Now it is average to big.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, very, very hard.
So-
very good.
Well, I realized the importance of. I got into a pretty bad car accident, a car crash, and I'm not sure. I think I was thrown from the vehicle, but I'm not sure. But no, yeah. So I realized the importance of life and the importance of taking care of yourself, and I try to be more cognizant of my health, not just wearing my seatbelt, but like knowing when I should be driving, and maybe even I'm trying to take care of myself a little bit more with health. I'm trying to drink more water. Or at least mix my water and my Baja Blast together. But yeah, that car accident really seeing my family's reaction to that, my friends' reaction to it, really opened my eyes to also how I have worth. I have worth, and people would be upset if I'm not gone, and that's something that's made me think about my place in this world too.
Joe, how do you do?
Yeah. Well, he said.
Are you crying,
He said
Joe?
something. No, I'm not crying. He said something about how like I'm not worth it. He accidentally said not, but that's okay.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah.
Oh, did I?
You know what he meant.
Yeah, I know what you meant. I know what you meant.
Something. You realize you kind of knew it, but to see the worry and from listeners and from us and from obviously your parents and your grandmother, you actually have an example of it. You know, we always assume, but you have an example of how people would be really upset if you were gone. And so maybe that has changed your viewpoint of yourself a little bit to actually have concrete evidence of people's concern about you.
Yeah, no, I think so. I'm definitely I definitely do put the seatbelt on now.
Well, good.
All right, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Because God forbid you go plowing through the street or carnival. We want to make sure at least you survive.
Yeah. I accidentally hit 3 children. I hit a grandmother.
Okay, we're gonna move on to the visual component now.
All right.
Ooh.
So as mentioned, I wanted to get Joe to do a dating profile where he talks about himself realistically. But in order to ease him into that, we did some characters. And so Ryan, I'm gonna play for you. I'm just gonna go through. There's about 5 different characters.
Okay.
Let's see, get my screen share going. Okay, so we're just gonna go through them. Joe, if you can, try to be quiet the whole way through.
Okay.
Ryan, if you want to laugh, go ahead.
Okay.
I would avoid talking over it, but we want to hear your giggles if you got any. And then we will go through the character ones, we'll chat, and then we'll come back and we'll do the real Joe Buck one.
Oh man, look at those handsome men. Hi, I'm Dungeon Master Joe. Hi, I'm Dungeon Master Joe. I'm 27 years old. I live in Grand Ridge, and I'm rolling for initiative. Well, you know, I'm a really accomplished planeswalker. I've cast a lot of different, like, Elder, Dragon, Highlander spells. I've done a lot in Pauper. I'm very accomplished in Pauper. I've even done some Modern tournaments, believe it or not. I've done top 8 in a Modern tournament. And, you know, I'm just really looking for a female planeswalker to settle down with. You know, I think Magic the Gathering really informs my love life. You know, you gotta have the sparks in there, the firebolts, the giant hippos of love. I would be willing to date a woman who plays Pokemon, but not Yu-Gi-Oh! Those people steal and they smell. So I've got a lot of different special skills. I win over 30% of the games I play. You know, I'm really good at kissing, and I can chug an entire can of Mountain Dew. I can try half a can of Mountain Dew. Yeah, no, I have been in previous relationships. You know, my last gal, she was great. Every single time I would help her out of the car. I would, like, push the chair in with her. I would help her get out of bed. I would, like, you know, just help her. I was helping all the time. I was helping with things. But I've always been chivalrous. I've always held stuff open for them. I never push women around. I never give them a hickey or throw gum in their hair like the bad boys do. But, you know, look at me. Now, that's why I'm on this dating website right now, being a nice guy. Ideal date? Well, you know, how about a Magic the Gathering pre-release? You know, I'll buy your pre-release kit for you. That's 6 booster packs, a random spin-down dice, a foil, hollow stamped foil, and a couple sodas at the local friendly game store. How about that? And you know that won't be the only pre that night. You know, if we get in the bedroom, I'll take you to the Exile Zone, it's called. And I'll mana weave you a little bit. I'll shuffle your deck, if you know what I mean. You'll come in and find the whole bed covered in 20-sided die, and you'll roll for positions. The Lightning Bolt, the Spore Frog, Grave Troll. Let me tell you, I got a real stinkweed imp in between my legs. Liliana of the Veil, she's probably the hottest. Let me tell you, if I roll a natural 20, that means I'm splitting open your veil, Liliana.
You know, Joe Buckley, to the right woman, that would be so many dates because that's funny as shit. And nobody would take that seriously. You know what I mean?
Thank you. Yeah.
That people would laugh. There's women and men out there that would be like, I'm messaging this dude because he's taking the piss out of this whole thing. And it's funny.
All right, here's Big J.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, what's up, ladies? This is Big J. I'm 27 years old. I live in Grand Ridge. And if the trucks are knocking, you should come a-rockin', because I've done 4 ways. So I work at the spit warehouse. I move the spit from one area to the other area, and I make lots of money. So let me tell you, I can provide everything. I'm so tough, one time I knocked out a deer because it looked at me sideways. I've killed lots of different animals in my life. I've killed a deer. I've killed an elephant. I've killed a cat. I've killed a mongoose. I got 8 guns, and I'll show them off anytime. My daddy was tough on me. He spat chewing tobacco in my mouth. But that's because he thought I was a garbage can.
Oh.
Let me tell you, a perfect date between you and me. We're gonna take my truck out to the beach, and then I'm gonna knock out a nerd. You know, I'll treat women real nice. If they need to be picked up and put down somewhere else, I can do that in a flash. I'll pick them up, I'll put them back down, no problem. You know, I treat a woman like a big barrel of hay, real gently, with lots of respect. So, you know, if we ever get married, I got a lot of expectations for a wife. You know, she gotta be at home all the time. She gotta have a Chipper's outfit on. She gotta have 7 kids. You know, I want a lot of kids, because that way I got a real lot of grandkids, and I can pick them all up. So let's say I get you in the bed of my truck, and let me tell you, there is a mattress in there, and it's covered in plastic. Completely covered in plastic. There's no rain or mildew on it. It's like a dream. So when we first get on the mattress, I'm gonna lift a couple weights, right? Just make sure my forearms in good position. Yeah, and let me tell you, if I haven't climaxed by then, I'll flip you over like one of the boars I killed and suck like your teeth like one of the boars I killed. And let me tell you, things are getting real high and heavy. I'm gonna gut you with my filthy cockhead.
Oh, bravo. That's great. That was great. If I may climax.
Oh, thank you. Mm-hmm.
God damn you, Joe Buckley. Oh, God.
Okay, here's our next character.
Hi, I'm Drucko the Clown. I'm 27 years old. I live in Grand Ridge. I just really want to blow a wad of confetti down your throat.
These are great. These are the greatest thing ever. That's phenomenal.
And that's it.
That was the clown character.
Okay, here's our bigwig.
Hello there, ladies. I'm Joseph Robert Buckley V, Esquire. I'm 27 years old. I live in Grand Ridge, and I'd like to use my old money to start a new relationship with you.
Gloves.
Well, you simply must know that my daddy's daddy was the crawdad king of the Illinois River. And let me tell you, I've got that craw coin in my pocket now. You know, there's only a few things I'm looking for in a woman. Money, looks, sex appeal, wet puss. Hello? No, make sure to put out that fire. There can't be fire on the boat, thank you. Don't worry, ladies, I have 7 other yachts, so if this one burns to the ground, it means nothing to me. I'm so rich that I can personally pay annually to kill the Kentucky Herby Derby horse with my bare hands. Just grab at him and twist. I'm so rich that I'm far too busy to make love to you. I hire servants to do that for me. They record it, and I pleasure myself in the back of the limo. I puke because I'm so disgusted, but then I clean it up with money. I bought all the jails.
Bought all the jails. I love this so much.
Okay, here's Joe's conspiracy theory cyber guy.
Hi, my name is J. I'm years old. I live in and the system is going to burn to the ground. You know, as an anarchist, I think love is a lot like that. It's real explosive. It's real fiery. You know, it gets sent to officials, and whenever they open it up, you know, their fingers get blown off. I haven't been on very many dates. I've only been on one. The woman said I smelled of goat milk, and I had a tiny penis. An ideal date for me? You know, I'd like to take a lady off-grid. We take both her cell phones, we put them in a plastic bag, we smash them up, we discard them. I'll take you to my trailer in an undisclosed location, off-grid, away from all the hustle and bustle and the evil people around who really just need to be thrown sky high with a mail bomb. If you gotta poop, you gotta poop in a box. When we do the sex, I make sure to wear a tinfoil hat so the CIA can't watch our lovemaking through my eyes. And to make sure they don't put aliens inside my balls, I wear a tinfoil condom as well. When I was a young boy, I lived in the big city like all of you, and I washed my penis every day in my bathtub water. And you know what I discovered? The government puts fluoride in the water to shrink our penises. Here's my manifesto of wills and won'ts. Will, feed you. Get the gasoline. Help around the house. Will not. Poop in toilet. Brush teeth. Brush hair. Brush dog. If you do not accept this date with me, there will be an additional package sent to you in the mail. And let's just say that when you open up the package, you may not have any fingers left after you open the package. Sign to accept this mysterious package.
And those are Joe's
There it is.
characters.
There's the characters. I love that. That's so good.
Joe was not great. Joe's not a great actor, and trying to
sure.
get him to actually like be a different character was really hard. He can say things, words, as if he was someone else.
Yeah, I just don't have different voices to do.
It's more than voices, but
Yeah.
he just can't turn off the Joe.
Yeah. Let me tell you. The let me tell you is, that's just something that's,
Yeah.
you can't get it. Oh, gosh. Oh, this is a real Joe. Okay. And I will say, you know what? And I don't think I'm probably the only person thinking this that's watching this, especially that first video with that hat. You look good, Joe. Even though you're sitting there and you got the Mountain Dew, whatever you're doing a bit. You're handsome. You look good with the beard and the hair.
Okay. We'll have to see if any lady listeners think the same thing.
Well, yeah. If anybody, ladies, whatever, anybody down there that Joe's looking good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like the beard. I like the hair. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'll say, I mean, if you're a guy and you want to fuck me up the butt, let me know. I mean, that's a good compliment. No, that's a good compliment.
So here's what Joe just did is indicative of this whole video thing. So what you're about to see is roughly 3 minutes, 15 seconds in length. This was pulled out of close to 40 minutes of trying to get Joe. All it was is I asked Joe, well, and Nick and Sarah and Lisa were in the room, but we asked Joe questions that he may get asked by someone he was interested in. So it's just to explore who he is. Impossible for him to answer on the first try with something serious. And usually it was like the fourth or fifth try of us encouraging him and providing ideas for him before he finally said something that wasn't a complete joke.
Okay.
Now, I can say with some certainty that everything you're about to see is Joe being sincere, but he may not come across sincere.
Yeah.
It was like killing him to just say with a straight face how he felt about something. So you may notice that he's making a face, or he may like have some, he may have some like weird intonations in the way he's saying it. Believe me, this is my thoughts. I believe that Joe is being sincere. He just does not practice being sincere very often. So it can come across really smarmy because it's the only way. It's like he can't just open it all the way. He has to shit out the back end while he's hugging you. So we're gonna learn some things about Joe here. But we're gonna talk about this afterwards, and that's gonna be the rest of the episode, is just exploring how we can help get Joe to open up.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Hi, I'm Joe Buckley. I'm 27 years old. I live in Grand Ridge, and I'm looking for love.
Why would you like to be in a relationship?
I like it whenever people pick things up after me.
No. You're gonna be honest. This is you actually answering this question. Why would you like to be in a romantic relationship?
Okay. Yeah, I'm really just looking for somebody to hang out with, maybe watch some movies, maybe if you play Magic the Gathering, that would be good, and just somebody to hang out with. Yeah, I'm very low maintenance, I like to sleep a lot, so if you enjoy sleeping as well, that would be good. I really only need a couple different things to occupy my time with. I like to play video games, I like to watch Criterion films. So a couple things about me. Right now, I'm currently unemployed, and I do live with my parents. I really enjoy the company of my mother and father. But yeah, I'm hoping maybe a relationship will kickstart the whole not parents thing. Oh yeah, probably a movie or something would be good. I have a hard time getting out of my comfort zone, but I'm hoping a relationship might make me more open-minded.
That's great.
Yeah, I got them in the right order.
You did a good job, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
You know, I'm really looking for a partner who will make me laugh, who has like a lot of different things going on in her life. You know, I'm really looking for someone who's similar to me, like... You know, I'm really looking for someone who's similar to me right now, but open to growth. You know, I really just hope I have like enough money to live comfortably, and be happy. You know, in the future, I'd really like to be in a stable relationship. You know, I have a very big Plex server. I have almost 2,000 movies. I have a lot of TV shows on them. And you know, if you want any kind of TV show, I can add it to the Plex server. You know, I like to think I'm a decent person. You know, I'll try to be a good listener. I'm looking for someone whose values I can invest in. You know, I think that's a very important part of a relationship. I do a couple different podcasts with people. I like to hang about on the computer. I like to get in a lot of voice calls with people. Yeah, no, I've got a cousin who I'm really close to. We do a podcast together. So I've got one called Malevolent Movies. It's kind of a mystery science theater 30,000 kind of like riff on bad indie horror movies. I've got The Man with No Brain. That's kind of like a what would you describe that as? Like a self-improvement podcast for people? Oh yeah, and let me tell you about it's kind of like a kind of an internet-based history podcast. We just kind of go over a bunch of funny things that happen, like whenever like fat people fall down on the internet or something like that. We kind of discuss that. So yeah, I've got a pretty big family. There's like about 30 people who regularly see each other. So yeah, like I said, I live with my mom and dad, but I also have a younger sister and brother. So yeah, no, my brother's an EMT, and my sister just got married. She's got 4 cats. But I also like cats, so if you've got cats, that's fine with me. You can bring them on board. Yeah, so I'm Joe Buckley. I'm just really, you know, I may be unemployed. I may live at home with my parents, but I'm just looking for somebody to just kind of have fun with, you know, have a good time out on the town.
Yeah, I like that, Joe.
Oh, okay, yeah. Would you swipe right or swipe left?
I'd swipe down.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd swipe my butt.
Yeah, I try to delete the profile.
So there's a couple times in there where you're thinking Joe did a joke answer, but like the stuff about the Plex server or how he described Let Me Tell You About.
Yeah.
But we told Joe, just be honest. And if you don't know how to say it in a way that isn't going to make somebody uncomfortable, then just say it as you know it. So those were Joe's honest answers, which is what we were asking for.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so that's Joe's dating profile as it is now in 2022.
Yeah. I'm looking to mingle and I'm single.
Ryan, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are, yeah, it's going to be difficult for somebody to not understand that you're not constantly doing a bit. Like you know what I mean? Like even though you were being out like the Plex thing, like it does come across a bit as comedy, and I don't know how to fix that because that's you. That's just you. So somebody would have to just take if let's say that was the video, someone would have to take a leap to get to know you, or go to Man with No Brain, you know, and see that no, that's Joe is genuine, but sometimes it's hard for people who aren't in this weird world that we exist in, and that the listeners exist in. That this is our norm, but Joe's an interesting character, and it's going to be tough. It's going to be. I feel honestly that it's going to be. It almost has to be somebody that is a listener. Almost like it's got to almost be somebody that comes across this content and falls in love with Joe through that, or finds him really interesting and is willing to overlook some of the normal red flags, if you will, that Joe has. Overlook that, knowing that Joe's unique enough and he's not the same old. His, you know, that's how I feel about it, is that it is going to be difficult because Joe's a very unique kind of personality, and it's got to be somebody that's either willing to take a chance, or it's somebody that comes across these channels or something and just kind of becomes a fan, you know, or it's somebody that is a fan of the channel and knows somebody else who isn't a fan but might be perfect for Joe. That's how I feel. I don't think your first relationship is going to just be happenstance. I think it's either going to be aided through somebody you know, or it's going to be somebody that comes across this content. Okay. And then it's either way it's aided, because you're a unique specimen, Joe. And
well, there's no other way to even meet you, Joe.
Yeah, there's that too.
Unless I'm at the fair.
Yeah, I guess. But if you're like, got Dookie on your shoes and you're
I was
holding,
gonna say
Yeah,
holding a
Shoe
game
yeah.
Buckley.
stick.
Shoes Buckley is not,
What? Not able to be dated?
No,
not
it's
that moment. Not that moment. Someone sees you and they look down, they see you've got manure go up to your kneecaps. They're not going to be.
let's just say
Oh.
you looked your best that day, Joe. Like a shirt without holes in it. I'm not trying to sound funny, but I mean that literally because you went to that nice restaurant with a
Mm-hmm.
shirt with holes in it. But you're best dressed, and if somebody were to come up to you and engage with you, like if you're not prepared for that, then or even at least rehearsed enough to know to like catch yourself and be like, oh wow, okay, this is an opportunity. You're gonna expect way too much effort from one person to be like, hey, I like you. Let's go out sometime. Let's do something together. So you got to start preparing for that type of stuff. And I'm not saying you can engage in every scenario ahead of time, but it's as simple as, do you even know what to say to somebody like who's talking to you and you don't fully know why they're talking to you? Like, are you even prepared to push through your boundaries and assume that maybe they are interested in you and maybe turn the topic towards some things about getting to know them?
Okay. Yeah. No, I'd probably say something like, hey, you want to go maybe grab Frappuccino sometime? We get that butt sex,
Yeah,
just the
there it is.
usual.
Yeah,
Just
there's
joking.
the butt sex.
Uh-huh.
But if they're a fan of the channel, they'll love that. That's what they want from you.
Yeah, they will. Uh-huh.
But
they want a Frappuccino and butt sex.
So, Joe, why were you so uncomfortable trying to say the real things about yourself?
I mean, I'm just, I've normally got like a mask on. I'm normally not really looking for a relationship, so it's kind of like different, to do that like on cam.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it'd just be different in general.
Yeah, no, I'd say so, yeah.
Because you've never had, other than that half date you always talk about,
Mm-hmm.
you've all of your relationships, all of your interactions with women and girls and everything have never been a flirtatious thing for you. It's always been either somebody's girlfriend, a friend of yours' girlfriend, or it's a project. You've always been the funny guy. You've never really flirted, have you, with anybody?
No.
And is that because you just figure that there's no, I mean, there have been girls in your life that you've been attracted to and you've liked, right?
Oh, sure.
Even girls that are part of a project maybe or have a boyfriend already, but you've felt that, haven't you?
Yeah, no, I'd say so.
But you just don't know how to go about it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it just wouldn't work out.
Or it was a situation like, yeah, it was a significant other or a friend of the family, somebody that you're like, oh, that's that's not a realistic possibility necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you've not been in that situation where maybe it's a girl at work or maybe it's a girl you're doing a play with or something where you're nervous because you like her, and you feel like a fool around her because you want to impress her, but you feel like everything you say is shit because you are nervous. Have you been in that situation before?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Have you ever been in a situation where in hindsight you realize that they may have been interested in you? Because that's happened to me as I've gotten older. I'll look back on a moment, something randomly it'll come to my mind. I'll be like, oh shit. Like I was completely acting oblivious to what was happening, but this person was clearly interested in me,
Yeah.
and it just is what it is. I mean, obviously I wasn't prepared for whatever it was because I didn't know what was going on. But like it's embarrassing to think about. But have you ever felt like there was like a moment in your past where you're with somebody and they may have been giving you hints?
No, not that I can think of.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
no.
Like you're coming at this from a perspective that I can't really necessarily relate to because I've always had crushes. I remember my first crush in kindergarten, and then I stopped having a crush on the girl because she got a scab on her knee and it bled, and I'm squeamish. I remember to this day, I'm like, don't like her anymore.
Yeah,
She had a bloody knee. But I remember that being in, as young as being a kindergartner, and I remember, all of that. I've always been in situations where I might have a crush, on somebody. That does, and usually I don't know how to do anything about it. But if you've not been in those situations, it's a different animal for me to understand how you feel about things and your perspective on dating and stuff. If you've never had that unrequited Because I mean, that was a story in my life, and for years and years and years is unrequited love. Girls that I liked and had crushes on that either I had no desire to didn't see me in that fashion, or I never had the guts to find out. Hundreds of, or not hundreds, but dozens of times in my life. So, so I don't know that world of not having not. You say you've never really been in a situation where you had a crush on anybody.
No, I mean, I'd say I had crushes on people like back in school and stuff like that, but
It's been a while since
Yeah,
anybody
yeah.
in your life
Yeah.
you've had butterflies about when you see them.
yeah.
You know what I mean? That
Well,
kind of
I
vibe.
feel like there's been some people that were in our circle that Joe has had those feelings for, but I think it's whether they were already in a relationship or Joe felt that they were just out of his league.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're not bringing those people up, correct, Joe?
Well, no, I mean, there's like been like a lot of women I get along with well, like in the film circle.
I'm assuming you had crushes on them.
Like if they asked you out, would you have said yes?
Yeah, I mean, probably, but I mean, I'd say that for most people, I'd say
Okay.
yes.
Oh, that's
Do you want to go out, Joe? You want to go on a date?
Oh yeah, sure, that seems fine. We could eat some popcorn. We could
Fucker.
watch a movie.
Well, and
Fuck,
why
I'm
for
just going to
Ryan?
use you to. I'm
Ryan,
just
you
gonna
give the
use
real
to destroy your
answer.
Plex.
No, you don't get admin access.
I'm going to pretend to be your lover just so I get access to your Plex and I can destroy it.
Nope, you don't get
Erased all of it.
Nope, you're not getting admin access after 20 years of a relationship. I don't care.
You wake up after sleeping with Ryan, fake Ryan, and you catch him dress pulled up peeing on your Plex server.
Mm-hmm. That's what
I
you
went
get.
6 months of ass to mouth with you, Buckley. You're not ruining this moment.
Yeah. My Plex, my Plex.
My ass, my Plex.
Yeah. I don't
My
know which one
Plex
hurts more.
gone.
Well, Joe, what would it take for you? And I know I'm not expecting you to say, "Oh, let's just do it," but for you to try some online dating.
Is the online dating scene like big around here? I don't know. I might have to go on Farmers
Joe,
Only.
No,
It's
come
big
on,
everywhere.
man.
Okay.
Everybody is
Those
aware
are
of
the last
every
women
service.
that are going to like you, Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only people who use like Farmers Only and those very specific community type things are people who exclusively want to date in those pools. Like,
Okay.
why would you sign up for that when most people are going to be
Like Christian Mingle.
Yeah,
You're not going to
yeah,
sign
yeah,
up for
yeah.
Christian Mingle, Joe, being the fucking Antichrist too.
Yeah, you're going to
most
use
of those girls on there. They
Tinder.
would be appalled by
I could go on J-Date.
by all of us.
You're gonna
Yeah, I
use
could date a nice
Tinder.
Jewish gal.
You're going to do Facebook. I think Facebook has one. You're going to do Bumble, that type of stuff.
Yeah. There's a brand new app just called the Butt Sex Plaza. That's trending. That's getting really good
The
reviews.
Plaza. It's the Plaza for short.
No. Yeah.
What would it take to get you to try? And I'm not saying that I'm going to take on that journey of trying to get you to do it. I'm just asking.
Oh, okay. I mean, I would maybe do it for the pod. I don't know.
No.
Yeah.
That's off limits. I am not going to risk you throwing real opportunities down the drain as a joke.
Oh,
because
okay.
you won't even go to your hometown's festival and do a booth, but you'll go on an online dating thing and make a joke out of all the women on there. Ain't gonna happen, Buck.
Oh,
No.
okay. That's fine. I'll say.
Now,
I'll put
Joe,
in
Joe,
the.
and you don't have to.
Oh, okay. Well, I was gonna say
You don't
I'll put
have
in
to
the description of the profile, like, got a dick like a jelly bean, very sweet.
That's the thing. It may work. I don't know.
It may work.
It's
I
just-
don't know. Comedy's the barrier. It's the thing.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I
does
don't
all
know
barriers.
if that's a terrible idea, as long as it's obvious you're making a bit.
Yeah.
But you might find somebody that's with your sensibilities, and
No,
you don't.
yeah,
and
a very
also
funny
side note,
person,
you don't have to disclose this. But this is kind of going along with my other thing. They've heard all this shit. You're not hiding anything at this point.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
The worry I have is that you find a nice relationship, and then they fucking go back and listen to Met with No Brain a few episodes.
And they're disgusted.
And all of us, I think all of us might, in a situation, find ourselves single again. They go back and listen to some of the dumb shit we do. But, I think that avenue is the most realistic, but that's such happenstance, So I guess my plea out there right now is anybody that's listening that is, do you know anybody that, and it'd probably be a long distance thing, Do you know anybody that realistically, having listened to this show, would be a good fit for Joe Buck?
Yeah.
And if so, I'm as long as it's okay with you, Joe, reach out to us.
Oh yeah, no,
Let's
that's
see what
fine. That's
happens.
fine.
Alternatively, is there a female listener of this show, somebody who doesn't know Joe personally? Because I know a couple women who know Joe personally and do listen to the show, but somebody who doesn't know Joe personally that'd be willing to come on and talk with Joe.
Oh yeah.
About dating.
Okay.
That would be great.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good. A different perspective. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you ever
And
really
you-
wanted to sleep with a court jester?
I bet the court jester was one of the coolest people. They weren't covered in shit.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, they were well respected. Yeah.
Like, are you taking the piss here, Joe? They lived in the castle. They worked for the king.
No. I forgot all my medieval history. You're correct, Tyler.
I'm sorry, the Buckleys would have lived underneath the bridge, and they would have been collecting mud and taking it from one place to another.
Yeah.
We inseminate the goats. We're the goat inseminators.
The Buckleys would be without most of their hands and feet, probably, either through different weird diseases or they had no other option. They ate their hands. The Buckleys would be, I don't know when your bloodline started, but I think it started well after the medieval
Yeah,
times.
they have
You
the
guys
shit
wouldn't have made it
blindness.
out. That bloodline would have ended. That bloodline
No,
would have
yeah,
ended
so the Buckleys had like a
Crusades.
family problem with getting shit in our eyes, and then we go blind. We can't figure out how to get it out of our eyes.
Shit in our eyes.
Yeah. Yeah. People keep tossing like pans of shit and piss out of their windows, and it gets in our eyes.
Well, your job was to catch it with your mouths.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, we're cleaning up the streets one
They call that
mouthful
Buckley.
at a
They call
time.
that Buckley bites.
Yeah,
they call
yeah.
those Buckley. You got you got a bunch of Buckley bites to throw them out the window.
Yeah,
That's what they call the poop and
Buckley
the poop that was in
bites,
the
yeah,
jug.
Buckley bites.
Yeah. We're cleaning up this town one gulp at a time.
Oh Lord, Joe, have you
Joe
learned
Buckley.
anything from today's episode?
Maybe just to like watch my wording if I'm around like a date, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the purpose of a date is to get to know, and you shouldn't unleash everything that's in the dungeon on a first date.
Okay.
But at the same time, you're supposed to. It's that weird line you have to straddle. Same with a job interview or the first couple days on the job, where you're on your best behavior. You still got to be yourself, but you're also kind of on your best behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you have a problem, if every time you hear a doorbell ring, you shit your pants, that will have to come into play, but you don't say that on the first date.
Oh, okay. I've got, like,
certain things
yeah.
you keep on the down low and down the line, but you also want to be honest. So
Sure,
it's
yeah.
watching your wording, but also I think it's not just watching your wording. Maybe rethink some of your answers. Maybe rethink some of the things in life. Like we talked about the empathy. I mean, maybe it's not so much that you should hide the fact that you enjoy the
Shock
humiliation
humor,
of human
yeah.
beings makes you laugh. Maybe try to find other things that make you laugh and talk about those.
Okay.
I
I shouldn't bring up the Opie and Anthony show anymore.
Yeah.
You should know.
Yeah,
'cause,
women don't like Opie or
unless
Anthony.
they are an Opie unless you met them on the Opie and Anthony message board.
Oh,
Then,
that's gone. That's
obviously.
gone now. That got banned from the internet.
Well, whatever. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? A fan group,
Okay.
Facebook group or
I
something.
understand.
Yeah.
But you got to be honest. But you also, you're not going to just regurgitate everything. You're not going to sit down and immediately be talking about Eldrazi's
Mm-hmm.
because it doesn't make, that's down the line.
No,
The
yeah,
geeky stuff
women
is
don't
down
like
the line.
slivers. Women don't like women don't like Eldrazi. Women do not like elves.
Yeah, there are some that enjoy those things.
Yeah.
If you met them through that, then obviously you guys have a point of common interest. But if it's just a first date, you got to kind of, and also an
Trevor
important
met
thing.
his wife on a forum for a podcast, Joe.
Oh.
Like they weren't on the
Oh,
podcast. They were
yeah,
both
that's
fans of
true.
the same podcast. I believe it was a
That's
forum,
cool.
maybe it was somewhere else, but it was associated specifically with a podcast.
Oh, okay.
And so like
Yaddle chattel.
so that's one of your favorite things is to linger in these areas. I doubt there are many women in your Plex server chats, but maybe putting yourself out there in more of like the magic stuff. I'm sure like what maybe more specific film communities related to like maybe not Kubrick and Lynch, but maybe some other areas.
Oh no, there's a lot of women who like Kubrick and Lynch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But don't
Yeah.
just limit to that. And then another thing a subject we haven't broached yet, because it's a little early, but also a big part of that first date is listening.
Yes.
Oh, Oh, okay.
It's not just answering the questions. Matter of fact, I would say that if you could answer less questions about yourself and ask more questions of the other person, that's, to me, I think that's the smart money for the first date anyway.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Well, normally I'm just like
show
blah,
interest.
blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. Yeah.
I mean, answer questions they ask, but be armed with questions. Be armed with questions that you can ask them.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, because if you go into a conversation with nothing to say, it's people don't just want to talk at you; they want to feel engaged, and so like you have to prompt them, you have to participate in the conversation. Like I get caught doing it all the time with my girlfriend. We've been together for so long. Sometimes at night I'm just ready to go to bed, and she'll be talking at me, and
I'm her.
yeah,
I'm the talk at guy.
yeah, and so like I'll catch myself saying things that are really dismissive. But like sometimes I'll just say, yeah, I love you. And it's like, I just asked you a question and it's like, oh, fuck me. And so then I just own up to it. But like for you, it's like in a first time conversation, you have to be actively engaged because Joe, so watching back and editing this video of you, the number of times I tried to talk to you to get you to work through something you were trying to say, I would be 3 words deep into probably a 4-sentence thing. And you'd say, oh yeah. And it's like, you're not listening.
I'm agreeing with you.
No. You don't need to agree because what you're actually saying is I'm not listening to you. I'm waiting for you to be done. Because, and I don't think you're listening, Joe, to be quite honest. And so I think that's something as to Ryan's point and what we've been saying throughout this whole thing is maybe practicing this stuff wouldn't be the worst idea. You don't have to do it with other people. But just like, in a conversation, the next time you're in a conversation with Tad, just be mindful of, am I listening? Am I talking too much? Am I hearing what he's saying?
Yeah. I like to make agreeing sounds to show that I'm in the conversation. Like, I'm participating.
You're achieving the opposite. You are achieving.
Okay.
Again, Joe, because I say 3 words out of a full thought and you say, oh, yeah. But those 3 words, there's no way there was enough core subtext to it for you to know what the point was.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and you do that all the time. To your credit, you constantly say yeah. And maybe let's work on the yes.
Why? You don't
and
like
I'm guilty of this stuff too. I'm guilty of this stuff too, Joe. I mean, I get it. But yeah, we always have to work on that, and no one ever masters human relationships with other people. It's an ongoing thing until the day you die. The point is to try your best,
Okay. I understand.
I'm just
what
as
you're
guilty
saying.
as anybody. The talking at thing, man. That is me.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I just want to talk.
Yeah.
I just like engaging, and if someone's listening, I'll talk, and I don't even necessarily need them to say anything back to me. Sometimes I just not to hear the sound of my own voice, but it's just that I like talking about subjects that I like talking about.
Yeah.
So I talk to myself all the time with the fucking car. So I totally understand being that talk at person, and I try not to be that way when I can. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I might as well blow up a balloon and put like 2 eyes on it and a smiley face. I can just babble at it.
I don't think you're really that type of person, Joe. I think you can talk about certain things for quite a while. But like, I don't think that you actually work that way. A lot of times you just have nothing to say.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that that's what you should be more focused on is making sure that you're being an active participant, whether or not you're saying the bulk of the whatever the conversation. You're not the one projecting the bulk of the conversation, but you're at least participating in it.
Okay.
And so that's what part of the reason why the man with no brain works is because Ryan talks at you and you're like, yeah.
Oh, that's reasonable. Yeah, that makes sense. That sex was just like fucking a lima bean.
Okay, hold on a second.
Huh?
Where is the lima bean thing from? Because I just edited that
you edited my joke out. That's why I wanted to do the joke on this one.
But where's the lima bean? Also, I realized you talked about hay in this video, and we filmed this after you went to Streeter. So obviously,
what's wrong with that? I had a hay experience. So what's wrong with that?
It's like the word of the day, toilet paper. It's like I got to find a way to use this in a conversation.
He talked about it on the Devil Story Malevolent Movies episode too. I mean, it was relevant because we were talking about a horse in a stable, but he had a whole bit about hay in there too.
Okay. Well, hay is like
hay is something that's going on in Joe right now. Hay right now is important to Joe.
Listen, hay.
It's coming up a lot.
Hay is kind of like a funny kind of like prop. It's very like it's pointy whenever you grab it. That's kind of funny. Like you can get poked on it. It's just like a funny kind of thing. A lima bean is also a funny vegetable.
That bit hit the water, bounced a few times.
Also, Joe, that thing you did is a bit. whenever somebody says you do this thing, you're like, yeah, well, hey, now, hey, this thing and this thing and this thing. It's like, oh man, Joe, I just wish you believed us when we told you that sometimes I'm not even going to use the word censor, but sometimes when you look at yourself through the eyes of other people, you may have a better understanding of what makes you funny. So I'm not going to say that like the fans of these shows clearly like you as you are.
Oh yeah.
You could maximize your potential by listening. You could get many more jokes out that are relevant to what's happening in the moment.
Don't get complacent in your comedic stylings, Joe. Always grow. Artists grow. Musicians grow. Good bands don't put out the same record over and over and over and over in most cases. You know, they grow.
Buffett, Jimmy Buffett.
And so
what is that even, Joe? Why is Jimmy Buffett a joke?
Yeah.
Because he kind of people say that he kind of makes the same music over and over again.
I was thinking AC/DC really is when, AC/DC is notorious for making the same record over and over. But in their case, it's a good album. They just keep making it. And I still am into it. But most of the great bands, their sound evolves. They try different things. The Beastie Boys, U2, Pearl Jam, all these bands, they've, some fans like them albums, some don't like, some want them to go back to their roots. But your artist should always be trying new things, and that goes with comedy. So don't get complacent, Joe, in your Joe Buckley character. It doesn't, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Feel free to grow. Feel free to grow and listen to what, try to,
Yeah, grow that lima bean into a green bean.
Yeah. Joe, you wouldn't go near a fucking lima bean for any reason.
That's why I'm saying that's also why it's a funny vegetable. No, people don't like to eat them. Yeah, it's gross.
I like lima beans.
Okay.
I honestly do. You put some butter, some salt, some pepper, maybe a little cayenne. It's not a bad side.
All right. I've never heard of it. Okay. Side.
Butter beans,
This is that thing where you because you don't enjoy something, you assume most people don't like that thing.
Yeah. Lima beans, the most yummy vegetable out there.
It would be like Ryan talked about the brain thing. Like that would be me saying, like, well, nobody likes to eat brain. But like, I don't know because
that's
I actually.
Accurate. I mean, that's pretty accurate.
A lot of people like that brain. It's a huge festival thing. Most people love eating that brain, and I wished I would.
They're like zombies.
But it was, for me, it was the texture of it looked like a tenderloin because it was fried, but then you bit into it and the center was gelatinous, and then my brain told me, remember, this is brain, and I was like, no, I couldn't even keep chewing it. But yeah, tons of people like that brain sandwich. It's a big deal at this festival every year. They have lines down the block.
Well, I don't know if cooking it removes the danger, but I know that you can like really fuck yourself up eating brains. Like you can get this thing called like a prion.
It's cow brain, I think, or pig brain.
Okay,
I mean, it's not. I don't know what you think it is. People eat cow tongue. Okay. People eat gizzards. I mean, they eat eyeballs. They eat the balls.
Oh, they love it. Yeah, they love chomping on the
cow brain. It's fried cow brain. I'm sure it's fine.
Okay.
Oh boy,
I don't know anything about brain cooking safety. I know I'm completely underprepared.
Well, Joe, and again, like we could. Here's the thing. There are so many different like documentary series or reality shows or podcasts centered around what we're doing right now. The thing is, though, is that maybe the subject of whatever that medium is puts themselves out there more than you do. And we could probably break a barrier down if you were willing to. And I'm not asking you to eat brain, but if we could just get you to try some new things. I think it could be really. I mean, hey, I didn't know much about Carl Pilkington. Didn't care about Carl Pilkington, but goddamn, did Ricky Gervais make me want to know Carl Pilkington?
Oh yeah.
And now I know more about Carl Pilkington than I should ever know. And I'm assuming that's the same thing for most of the people who followed you from Let Me Tell You About or the Benevolent Buckley Show or the two people from our movies. Like there's a. We got to escalate this thing, man. Phase 3, phase 4, phase 5.
I like the man with no brain. I like the man with no brain. It's weird and different, and I like doing it. I'm glad to be doing it again. But
I can't really think of anything else out there like it.
We also know, though, you have to play ball too, Joe. You have to play ball too.
Joe.
No, no, I'm not Bobo. I've never gotten naked on the podcast.
You are a version of Bobo. I don't like.
We're trying to
making those
humanize.
comparisons.
We turned you into Bobo. Now we're trying to humanize Bobo. Like we got kids.
Okay.
We created Bobo, and now we feel bad. We're trying to humanize Bobo when we dehumanized you in the first place.
Yeah, we started at Nim wants orange, and now Nim wants tomahawk steak.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we created your ass, and now we're trying to deconstruct your ass.
Yeah.
Because because like Bobo in particular burnt out pretty quickly. They had him on and he was funny.
Joe, I just mentioned Bobo because it was one of the last
okay.
people you had brought up.
Okay, that's
I don't
fine.
Need
you don't
the
want
history
the
of Bobo.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just wanted to give a little bit to the people out there in the pod. That's fine.
But why are you you advertise other people's shit? I just make one mention. You're like, hold on now. Here's the history of Opie and Anthony.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say Bobo does not have a pod. I'm not advertising him.
But it's like you just want to. Here's one of those things you do love to talk about. Things that make you laugh.
Yeah.
Because Joe, I'm convinced if you maintain this hair and beard and whatever,
you look good.
that there's going to be repercussions from that. I don't know if there's a better word for repercussions, but there's going to be an impact on your person, on your mind, on the way you think that you have no sense of. It's happening right now, ever so slowly. And then one day you'll realize, oh, wow, I got more confidence from growing my hair out. And is it because of the hair's length? Is it because you tried something different? We'll never know, but you'll have changed. And that's why we've all been like, yay, Bubby's first long hair.
Yeah, it's a new Bubby, and it suits you. You look good, Joe, and I'm not saying that. I wouldn't say it. I have no problem saying you look like shit. I'm telling you, you look good.
I've heard it. Yeah, I've heard it.
You have. So if I tell you this, I'm being genuine. I think you look great. I think you're looking real good and you're looking handsome.
Thank you very much.
Makes me want to grow my hair again. Honestly, and I'm not lying.
Well, and Joe, what maybe the next thing you could do is go, hey, let's do an episode where like Sarah takes you shopping and you can try some new clothes. I think you need to get away from the jeans. I say
jeans? Okay.
Exclusively jeans, because you only wear jeans and a t-shirt. I think you need to find some different combinations. Maybe try some different shirts, like some polos or maybe just some striped shirts as opposed to some sort of logo for something. And then like a nice
not every t-shirt has to have a picture of a monster on it.
Well, I can say at the very least, not every shirt should have holes in it. And when you go out, you can wear, like I wear the same like 6 outfits when I'm home. I don't even have enough for the whole week because it's usually just some sort of gym shorts and like a t-shirt. Mostly
that's me.
The Benevolent Buckley Show stuff. And it's rotten, deteriorated, but I'm not going out. I don't want to wear stuff that I might have to wear for work or if I'm going out on the weekend, So just get a couple, like 3 outfits. That's something that you can wear when you go to Streeter at the festival, or you go to the movies, or you go out to dinner with us.
See, I just don't have like a lot of shame. Like if I show up with like a shirt with a big hole in it, I'm not like, oh, I'm so embarrassed.
But that's what's going to change.
You've got to start becoming embarrassed by that.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, like whenever I was a teen, like all the pocket money I got went to DVDs. Like I never closed shopped or like anything like that for myself to like get the cool clothes. It just wasn't really something I cared about.
Yeah, and I understand that. Hey man, I'm terrible when it comes to clothes. Like I have 2 pairs of pants and 4 shirts for work. And so one day a week it's the same shirt.
Yeah.
So I try to do Friday and Monday and Friday. I try to buffer it.
I'm the same way as Ryan.
Yeah, because it's business casual, and I don't want to spend any more money on this. If they want me to look better, they can give me a stipend or something.
Yeah, they can fork it over.
It's good enough. Plus, in my current job there, nobody even looks at me. I sit down on my computer, nod at a couple people, and then I'm working.
Yeah. You're like Medusa. They can't look at you, or they would turn to stone.
But my personal clothes, I'm also similar to Tyler. And I got my basketball shorts, and I've got like 4 hoodies. I wear hoodies all year round. I'm wearing a Vans hoodie right now. I've got 3 Vans hoodies because I'm big into. I love Vans shoes, and I like Van hoodies. And they're at Kohl's, and I got a Kohl's card, so I got Vans hoodies, and I wear the same shit all the time, and I wear a t-shirt until it practically falls apart.
I used to do a lot of hoodies, but it seemed like last winter I didn't really. But I just don't think I was outside all that much, so I wasn't cold.
Yeah, but I get it. I totally understand the clothing situation, but also, Joe, it does feel good when you know you look good. It does when you have an outfit on that looks sharp. And I'm not even saying it's business or fancy. you just look good. It suits you. You look cool with it.
Yeah,
It does make you feel good. Put on a
Yeah,
pair
and
of sunglasses or something. It does. It really
Yeah.
does. It helps all human beings,
And
'cause
I
you
would
just-
like, yeah.
you feel good.
I would have no idea what would look cool even. So it's like I would have no idea where to start.
And it's a point of going out with Sarah or something would be,
Yeah,
she
yeah.
would assist you in that. She would give you, her
Okay.
viewpoint. And I think that'd be
Okay.
very valid.
No, I think so. I think so. Yeah.
You have to be willing to put on clothes that you wouldn't normally wear just to see how it looks. And when
Okay.
you do that, you may realize, oh, actually, I like this. Like, there's no conforming here. We're not telling you exactly what it is that would make you cool, because there's plenty of people who dress very avant-garde who look really cool. They can wear different things. I can't pull off wearing something that looks like it was stitched from 80 different couches. But like, there are some guys out there who look really good wearing weird shit like that. People who wear scarves year round. I don't get it, but they can look good. I don't think I would look good.
Fingerless gloves.
Yeah, I used to wear fingerless gloves. I loved them.
Okay.
Because, and it wasn't because like, oh, it's more practical for my phone. I just thought I looked kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's an old school look. I like it.
How about,
And
like,
look
if
at
I show up-
Sean's always got cool. Sean's been the
Yeah.
coolest dresser I've ever known since the day I've
Absolutely.
met him. There's never been a day where Sean doesn't look cool.
How about
I mean,
like I
it's just,
show up?
it's just the way it is. Like rolling in at 6 a.m. to do a radio show, or he's a new father and he's been up all night. He still looks fucking cool.
Oh yeah.
I would always be like, God damn it.
Yeah.
Like,
One
there's
day.
no way. There's no way we have to do photo shoots together. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah,
I'm
you
just
can't
gonna
match it.
look
yeah.
like I look terrible regardless of what I do. 'Cause
Yeah,
Sean
you
always
looked
has
like
cool-
just
he
rolled
has
out of
that
bed,
good
Johnny.
sense. He just has that sense, man. He just knows.
Sean tries new stuff. So he's
Okay, yeah,
probably
no,
always
yeah, he does.
exploring on his own
Yeah.
terms. And so that's why
Absolutely. Sean's always look cool.
yeah. So sorry, Joe, what were the 8 bits you tried to squeeze in there?
Oh, I was just gonna say like a month from now, I'll just show up at your house and I'll have an upturned mustache like Salvador Dali. That'll be my new thing.
I would be proud of you for trying. I think that here's what I don't want you to do. Don't do anything as a bit. Like, I mean, if you want to come over and that you think that's legitimately funny, fine. But like, don't try new outfits as a bit. But when secretly you're like, I hope they like this. I hope they like this. Let us know how you feel. Because if you have, let's say you want to wear that hat that has the pinwheel and it's multicolored and you look like the fat
big
little boy
boy
with the lollipop. If you wanted to legitimately wear that, I would say, okay, bud, like, let's give it a shot. And then I would tell you my honest feelings after giving it a shot. But don't walk in being like, look at me, I'm the dandy little boy. And then everybody's like, haha, you look so stupid, you look stupid. And then you go home crying.
But you know what? If I was wearing that hat, I would probably get a free ice cream from different places.
Might.
That would be nice. Yeah, I think I would. I think I would get
People
free
would be-
appetizers
people would
and
be
ice
very
cream.
kind to you because they,
Yeah.
I think you need to find a hat. I think you need to find a hat that suits you because
I think that hat in that first video looked good.
Yeah, even the one where you're wearing the tough guy, you're wearing the hat backwards. Like when it was on straight, it looked good.
That's the snapback backwards hat, man. That's a big fashion thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So go online, look up hats.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. You're gonna get a nice fall outfit.
Yeah.
Oh.
We'll do an
something for
episode about the
long
fall sleeve,
outfit.
something. Yeah, something that we'll do a fall fashion show at some point.
Okay. I just look like a big pumpkin.
I
No,
Sure.
no.
No. I was saying I could show up with like an orange shirt. I could
get
show up with
it.
like
You do. You're that Hunt for Bad October T-shirt
Yeah.
every time I see it.
Unfortunately, that one's falling apart. I gotta replace that
Well,
one.
it's because you wore it.
well,
It's 'cause
replace it
it's
with
the
different clothes.
Okay.
yeah. But do buy the shirt with me on it with all the monster women.
Ooh.
I want you to wear that.
Yeah.
I do. I love
I'll
that.
check. I don't know if anybody's bought that one yet.
Yeah, the guys buy that one. That's fun, and I look good in it as a
Mm.
That's a good cartoon Ryan right there.
Oh yeah.
I'm
And you know what?
surrounded
You know
by-
what I
I'm
could do?
surrounded by various monster women from the movies, and
Yeah.
I
You know
love
what I
that.
could do?
need
I
to-
could give. I
I
could
need to
give.
get that for myself.
Yeah. I could give every single monster gal a kiss and then save you for last.
Sure. Yes. Unfortunately, no one has bought the Ryan Monster Lover T-shirt. How about this?
come on,
if
yeah.
somebody buys that, we will add a new Man with No Brain design to the shirt store.
Ooh.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
And with school, school starting up, maybe and I think I said this last year, maybe the year before, but hey, school is starting up and then maybe you're in college, high school, whatever you are, if you're a fan of the show. Hey, you want to be the cool guy who's into weird, obscure stuff Ain't nobody at your school wearing a Ryan Monster Lover shirt. Okay. People are going to ask questions.
Absolutely.
And then you can, maybe those questions lead to you getting a date because they say, what's this? Well, let me tell you about, no, don't fucking say, let me tell you about, but
no,
what
say
you
it, say it.
No, don't ever say that. You say malevolent movies and you say man with no brain. And, you know, don't be Joe. And then that'll, in turn, you open up your interests with this person. So win-win for everybody. And you get a new man with no brain design.
Yeah.
So win-win. Somebody buy that Ryan Monster Lover shirt.
No, yeah, and if you are like a big hipster, I mean, this is like the most obscure thing you could possibly get. This makes the Shags look like Kiss.
There is no world where we are mainstream cool. So this is so weird and obscure shit as it gets, and be on the ground floor by sporting a man with no brain or malevolent movie shirt.
Sorry, I'm Googling makes the Shags look like Kiss.
Oh, I didn't steal that. Yeah, you can Google it. But I like the Shags. They're interesting.
Anytime you reference anything music related, I just don't buy it. I don't.
Because you were on a Pink Floyd kick, and I was in your Plex, and you downloaded some Pink Floyd stuff, and there was some other music stuff you were downloading.
Yeah, I'm interested in it. Yeah.
I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, there's like another, there's like a movie called like The Final Cut. It's like a 20-minute, like kind of like The Wall for like their last album. That looks interesting. They made like a Dark Side of the Moon movie. But the Shags is very, very interesting. It's like a band from like the 1960s.
Yeah, it's a girl band. Yeah,
I know. We're aware. We know.
Oh, everybody's aware of the Shags?
Well, we've listened to music for most of our lives.
But the Shags is obscure. I mean, most people wouldn't
know. But is that why you like it? Is it because...
Well, it's not obscure if you're into weird shit.
I know who the Shags are.
It's weird media, yeah.
It's weird if you're my dad to know the Shags. It's not weird if you're into weird movies. You're going to come across the Shags amongst pop culture.
Okay.
You know.
This drives me crazy. I'm getting hot now because
I don't mean to.
You just like stuff that's obscure, and like that to me isn't liking it, because you're not. I can't imagine you're actually sitting there and listening to the music and the lyrics and absorbing it. You're just sitting here and being like, well, most people don't know what this is.
No, I mean, the Shags, it's very, very hard to actually like it because the whole thing is, every aspect of it is awful. It's very interesting to listen to. I liked listening to the two albums.
So you don't like the music. You like the idea of what the music represents.
Yeah.
Okay, so what music do you actually like?
That Dr. Demento type of thing, you know, where it's like fish heads, roly-poly fish heads. You know, it's not as... You like it because it's weird, you know.
Yeah.
Is there any music you legitimately like and you just listen to it?
Well, I have been listening to a lot of Pink Floyd. Yeah, that's mostly what I've been listening to.
Okay.
And you actually are enjoying the music.
Yeah, I do.
You're listening to albums. You're not watching
the full albums,
videos of things.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Wish You Were Here, Dark Side, Animals, The Wall, and Final Cut is mostly what I listen to.
Wish You Were Here for years was my go-to-bed album. I would play that. That would be a CD that I'd put on. That's what I'd listen to when I go to sleep. It was just a real calming, and you know, everything runs together. The whole CD runs together. And that used to be for years one of my, like, all right, I'm going to bed, but I'm not that tired, so I want something to listen to. I'd put on Wish You Were Here. Yeah.
Oh boy, what a jam-packed episode. I'm exhausted.
Oh yeah, it'll be a good one. Yeah.
All right, Joe. Well, what should the fans do?
Well, listen, you should hit that subscribe bell. You should, if you're not subscribed,
you hit the subscription button.
Mm-hmm.
You hit the notification bell.
Yeah,
it's two different things. We're not supposed to say you smash it. Smash the like button.
Smash that motherfucking bell.
Smash the sub button.
Mm-hmm.
Hit the notification bell. Buy the fucking shirt. Tell your friends and family about it. If you have a multimedia presentation class this year in school, bring up The Man with No Brain. Bring up Malevolent Movies. I don't even give a fuck. You can tell people we're personal friends. That's fine with me.
Mm-hmm. And find me a Oh, yeah. If you know a hot piece of ass who wants to date a podcaster, send her my way and I'll fuck.
Jesus.
Why? What? Yeah. No, that's a good ending.
Because there's just so much energy behind the words you just said there. There was more life in that angry sentence.
Well, maybe the monster's finally kicking in now.
What was that, Joe? My head.
Get some water. Get some water.
Oh, some water now. Okay. All right. I'll start chugging down some H2O.
Drink at least 1 bottle a day. Just 1 bottle a day to start.
Joe, you love Reddit so much. Why don't you hop on r/hydro homies
Oh,
and hang out
I
there
know
long
about
enough to think that drinking water is cool.
that.
See if you can drink so much water you get high.
Oh, yeah.
Although I think you can drink yourself to death with
You
water.
can.
Yes,
You
you
absolutely can. Yep.
So don't go that hard, Joe. Or if you do,
Okay.
eat salt in between every other drink. Keep the sodium in there so you don't.
Yeah, maybe I'll make it like an experiment. Like if I drink 3 cups of water and get really high, do I get higher than if I drink 5 cups of water and get really high? Uh-huh.
How high can I get eating vegetables?
Oh.